lessons? What have you learned? I was programmed to beat you. Mistakes. I was programmed to beat you.
we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
し寝ても覚めてもやまないそっけない君の笑顔が恋しくて星に願うのまた会えるよね恋も弱りで sweet 何をしてても daydreaming yeah 君のことば繰り返し寝ても覚めてもやめないそっけない君の笑顔が恋しくて星に願うのまた会えるよね
Do you wanna stay the night? Cause I don't wanna be alone. It's been weighing on my mind for too long, too long. Do you wanna save a life? Cause I just really need someone. I've been barely holding on. And I'm still running from my demons. I'm still hiding all my secrets. And I just need someone I believe in. Will you wait for me while I'm still healing? You know what to say.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another day in the week of SLE games, where we have ourselves a bottom of the table banger from Emrys Hyena versus Ablaze. Both teams desperately needing wins. We are going to head on over shortly into draft. Pepper, they've asked me to let them know when we are ready. Let me know, and then I will tell them. And I'm obviously not alone here because I'm joined here by the lovely ADC player from Gucci Nebula, right? Sanix.
Yeah.
Hello, how are you?
Hello. Yeah, I'm doing good. Two ADCs on cast, so I'm just here to, I was like, haha, fellow ADC caster, need to go here and just, see how
We're only
people
looking at
do.
bot lane today, right?
We're only looking at bot lane. Pepper, if you move anywhere else outside of bot, we're gonna have some words after the stream.
Yeah, they can't hear Pepper by the way, so like, don't try to trigger him. It's not going to be entertaining for the listeners. Um,
Uh,
no, I mean,
but
yeah,
yeah,
the bot lane's where the action's at, right? Because there's a huge fucking. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't be swearing, but there's been an absolutely massive pack drop in recently, and it where you were just talking about it, it doesn't feel very great right now to play ADC this way. But I guess it's just like finally the durability patch, the myth that was the promised, right? It finally hit
Yeah,
the
like
rift.
2 years ago, it's finally here. You know what I'm interesting the most is who's gonna get baited by Lethal Tempo. That's what I'm keeping my eyes open for. Who's picking up Lethal Tempo in that game one?
Yeah.
Because out of general feel that I got from 5 games of playtime, 3 of which I didn't even play ADC, is that Lethal Tempo does not feel very good. So yeah, maybe they're gonna prove me wrong. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll have to stand and see. Like, what are the main picks that you think that should benefit off the lethal tempo patch, if there are any?
I mean, we just talked before stream went live, right? So we were
Yeah, of course,
mentioning
but like,
some picks like
you
Zeri.
have to reiterate it now.
Yeah, but you know what I said. I think people probably know as well. But yeah, picks like Zeri. And then Zeri's really that one pick that really was struggling when Lethal Tempo was removed. But then you have options like Ashe that can maybe use it, but Ashe is also happy with PTA. I played Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw doesn't really feel that good with Lethal Tempo because you lose a lot of that lane trading power that he has. Because his kit is pretty overloaded, and overloaded champions seem to do good in this patch. Um, and outside of that, I think the biggest winners with with Lethal Tempo are actually Yon and Yasuo, which I don't think we're going to be seeing on bot lane. And it's not actually ADCs
Are
that
they
got good
broken
with
again
Lethal
with
Tempo.
lethal tempo? Because people were telling me that it was removed just because of those two champions abusing it like crazy.
I mean, they definitely scale off of it, right? Their Q gets a lower cooldown from increased attack
Yeah.
speed, so that alone as a factor for both those champions, I think, plays a big role. And then add the extra damage that you do with Lethal Tempo at max stacks now. I think there is something to it. And with the whole tempo of the game going down, I think Lethal Tempo really helps those two champions
It is
scale
a
up.
weird one because that on hit damage scales on how much bonus attack speed you have, right? I don't know if you've read
Yeah.
that, but that's like a very weird one because I think like not a lot of ADCs want to build just max attack speed. Like they actually used to use lethal tempo just to get some attack speed, so they didn't have to buy a whole lot. So it's a bit of a weird one. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's like a must pick in any type of situation, but we'll see what the teams make of the patch right now. I think there's also like a lot of changes in every other role, and tanks I think have gotten incredibly tanky. So I'm kind of expecting tanks in the top lane to play for a hyperscaling ADC, but we'll see what they make of the patch themselves, because we've had it on over into draft, and Yone is immediately removed because we actually saw that Los Murderetto, as we all know him very well as Los Yaparetto in the Discord from the SLE, he's been apparently he's been in the mid lane for a series, and that's the one series they went 2-0, so he picked Yone there, and it's going to be banned away against him. Is that the strategy here? Targeting Los Murderetto?
Yeah, surely. I mean, he is the star player of not just the Blaze, but the whole SLE, right? He is the one player to look out for. No, but I think that we're just listening to our cast here that we think Yon's OP, so they just banned it out. But on the other hand, we're seeing Lucian and Kai'Sa bans. I think Kai'Sa is kind of in a good spot, but I think Lucian really got hit with the Essence Reaver nerf and IE nerf and all the item nerfs, because Lucian is a champion that really wants to get to that 2-3 item spike early on and really snowball. And what this patch really does is kind of reduce snowballing. No, I'm not really sure if Emrys plays stuff like Lucian Nami or Lucian Milio, who I think still have a place in the meta. Maybe not as strong as it once was. But yeah, and then running up the bans for blue side for Ablaze, Darius and Ari, I think two standalone champions that are pretty good as well. And I was looking at Lolalytics today, and Darius jungle has a pretty high matchup, a win rate.
Darius jungle, okay. Yeah, I mean I've seen that in solo queue a lot. I haven't really seen it in competitive. But definitely, yeah, I like some of the points you bring up there, especially like that burst is definitely nerfed, right, with all the item values just going down. But it's interesting that I see most of the champions that are banned are like mostly burst oriented, so not exactly looking at late game, but I guess they're maybe scared that if the enemy is really comfortable on them, they don't want to deal with it, and they want to pick for late to try and lean into the durability patch. And we're gonna see a Jinx pick to just highlight what I'm trying to point out there. As on the other side, it isn't picked with a Jhin, more of a supportive AD carry. It was really like prevalent in the previous patches. Looked pretty decent. I'm not sure how well it places in this patch, but if you have to take this 1v1 of Jhin versus Jinx, that might get confusing, Jhin versus Jhin. What would you think is actually better right now?
It's just weird. I think like Jhin, stat-wise, from what I was checking today on, again, shout out to Lolalytics, that has no partnership with SLE whatsoever. But from what I was checking, Jhin actually has a pretty high win rate, while Jinx has kind of a lower one. And considering she's a scaling ADC and whatnot, I think that matchup really comes down to support. But I think for those early trades, if Jinx goes lethal tempo, I think Jhin is really favored on bot lane. As you know, Jinx getting paired out with a Thresh for more security, more safety. So even if he steps out of position, that Lantern is always going to be there to, you know, quickly swoop him out of the fight, out of the situation that Jinx puts himself into. And on the other side, obviously, you have Jinx, you pair him with a Leona now, so that's so much CC and setup from bot lane. But picking bot lane, both B1 and B2 and R1, R2, bot lane's out, bot lane's picked.
Yeah, Prio on bot lane. I think the Thresh should be able to manage the Leona peel, I feel like, in lane alone, and I think with the Jinx range, they should still get Prio, so I kind of like what Emrys has picked blind here. Not too sure about the Ablaze counter options into it, but Amumu has been pretty broken, honestly. They have nerfed slightly Leandries. They've nerfed every single item. I should.
Yeah, every item. No, Deadman's buffed actually.
So there was
Deadman's
like,
buffed.
that item was really strong, I think, and made so many AP junglers so broken, and Amumu was definitely one of the beneficiaries of that. It definitely an annoying one to deal with, because there is a lot of CC already drafted for Ablaze. And yeah, Emrys is responding kind of with the Sejuani. She's been kind of staple in competitive drafts, usually picked earlier, but I guess they had more prio on the Thresh and play safe. I think that's completely fine, especially if your support is Flay today and Hook tomorrow. Would you say, because you know this guy very well, he's been coaching you, actually. What can you tell us about Thresh on Flay?
Hey, you know, I don't want him to cut some strays here, you know, but let's just say he lives up to his name, Flay today, right? He hits those plays. And you know, it makes sense why his name is not Hook today, like you said.
Yeah, but he's also been kind of coaching you guys. I see that he's also, like, I think the series they won, he didn't play. I'm sorry, but or like the game they won. Wait, actually, were they on 2 wins or 1 win? I have to double check. But yeah,
they're actually on 3, no? No, I'm capping. They're on 2.
I think Ablaze is on 3 wins, and I think
Ablaze is on 3 and Emrys is on 2.
And then they both beat Round Table, unfortunately. Round Table.
There's a pattern here. I also want to point out, right? One team is going really CC heavy with Jhin, Leona, Mumu, and the other team sees Jhin picked and decides, yeah, you know what? He can't really go through tanks. Tanks are kind of strong right now, so let's just pick Cedric Thresh. And I wouldn't be surprised if they just lock in something that can Ornn here. You know, just commit to the tank. Or they can go Ori. I guess that's fine. That's a safe pick. Nothing exotic there, you know. They're keeping it safe. They're keeping it a standard draft. And they, more importantly, they really want to match this team fighting from Ablaze as well. Picking Orianna, a champion that you don't really play for side lane. You want your team to go in. You want to follow up with a shockwave. So an interesting pick there from Emrys.
Yeah, Orianna has always worked out for a lot of teams here in the SLE. I think champion that will never vanish. And Ablaze is looking like what they're going to blind with. And I think, I mean, let me just quickly check at the lobby. And it looks like Los Murderos is going into the top lane. So we're going to see some jaxing here on the side of Ablaze. They're going to pick this blind, though. There's still counter open. I'm not a top lane expert, but I do think that Jax should be counterable, I feel like, in the top lane. So curious if Garen was really the only problem that they saw there. So that's the only thing they really banned away. Although, yeah, Renekton was also taken away as an option. I wouldn't necessarily think that Renekton would be the best pick there, but they're going to round out their composition with Talia. Very good follow-up on a bandage toss or some CC from Leona, and can probably one-shot anything that is not Sejuani.
Hear me out, Malphite. Malphite R5, best pick in the game here.
Is Malphite good into Jax, you'd say?
really make him. No idea actually. I think it's just
I
fun.
heard it was like fine either early or late, but not the other. So it's like
yeah, it's fine at a certain point. It really makes Jack's life kind of hard, but we get Shogat here. I think from what I've heard on the day the pass dropped is that Shogat is one of the biggest winners on the patch. A lot of sustain in his
I
kit,
can see that.
tank items being pretty good. So I think Jax is gonna struggle here. I think what you want to pick for Emrys is a tank up on top, but it does put you in a situation where your only damage is on the Jinx, right? The Orianna, yeah, she has some damage in the kit, but it is all in that shockwave. So if the Jinx gets caught out of position once, you know, us both, we're pretty good at being properly positioned at all times during a game, so it wouldn't ever happen to us. But you know, if hypothetically we ever were in a position like that where I would be on mid lane, overextending a bit, playing Jinx, and Amumu would creep out of a bush, I would be dead on sight. I'm not saying it ever happened to me, but
Sure,
Um,
right?
yeah.
Surely not us. Sure, bro.
not us.
Vegas
Not
has
us.
been on fire with his takes already in chat. I want to say big props to him, especially with the earlier burn. I have no comeback for that one. And again, he also said like Benji will be the best top in SLE with the Cho'Gath. I think he's been the best Cho'Gath player in SLE. And if what you're saying is true, that Cho'Gath is the best beneficiary of this patch, then this champion is Turbo, because he gets so much damn max HP. It's gonna be a rough one to get through that one. But I like that you also pointed out. Well, not necessarily. I think the biggest issue for the Cup of Emrys is that, like, how do you kill anything in the early game, though? Like, because late game, I think they should be fine. Even you're saying, yeah, Jinx is the main one carry for sure. She's the main DPS, but Orianna, I think, has very reasonable means of killing Jax, Tadia, and Jhin, so there's enough targets. But early game, it's hard for them to take fights against the level 6 Amumu in River.
Yeah.
So
I think what needs to happen is the snowball needs to happen before. I think the best thing Jinx can do here is kind of three wave crash into back for cool. You know, a standard Jinx mechanic or whatever you want to call it. That
don't give away the secrets.
Yeah, but you know, look at Pro Blade. It's what always Jinx does. It's a champion that can get a lot of prio early just with her AoE from her lovely rocket launcher. But you know, you just push out the waves, you crash it, get a nice recall, get that cool in. I wouldn't even be surprised if Jinx opts to start cool. I think with the state of the game as it is right now, a lot slower. Cool start isn't that bad anymore because you're not necessarily taking fights in lane. Unless Sejuani really goes for some special pathing and really tries to shut down this Jhin, that I think will be a problem later on, regardless of whether he gets kills or not, because all he realistically needs is a W on a already CC target, and the Jax and Talia are there to follow up with the damage.
Yeah, they definitely have. I think that the game plan for Ablaze looks pretty straightforward, especially in early mid game. Just make a Mumu or Leona set something up and just dump all your damage on it, and it's gonna be on Emrys, especially on Flay here with the Thresh to keep this Jinx or Orianna alive. By the way, what would you actually, if there wasn't an Amumu, because this is like something I've been thinking about, like, do you take the cleanse versus Leona, who has her stun on a 60-second cooldown, or do you just say like, let me outplay it, especially because when you have a Thresh to peel the Zenith Blade? Would you just say like, I'm gonna outplay it and I'll prioritize barrier, which I think is very effective against Jhin, who wants to hit you as low on a low percentage HP because fourth bullet executes, right?
Yeah, I am. Playing cleanse in this economy it feels really bad. It feels bad ever since the nerf having they added like 30 seconds on it. Like I don't even know. Sometimes I feel like my cleanse should be up and it's not, and it's always on just weird timers during the game, and it just feels worse whenever you're not running barrier. It just feels bad. Even with Ghost, which was like a go-to rune for ADCs when you didn't have to take cleanse before, it just doesn't feel as good. When you're running barrier, it's just the goated rune, because when you use it, it's basically the next 1 minute you're in lane, you're gonna have it up again because you use it. You usually win a fight or lose a fight if you survive. Whatever, you come back to lane, you reset. I mean, you reset and then come back to lane in that order, and then you're just in lane for another 30-60 seconds, and all of a sudden it's up again. And it is such a good rune, but I really dislike taking cleanse, to answer your question. I think if it's just Leona as the only like real CC, um, or the real like person with a lot of CC, I think it's not worth it. But you really need to be careful on your positioning. But all of a sudden you pair that with Jhin, and Jin's root is also over a second or a second and a half long. And on top of that, you have a Mumu and Jax that have a stun. You kind of have to go cleanse, but I think the value cleanse brings this game is the tenacity, not even the insta cleanse on top of it.
Yeah.
And I would really like to see. Sorry.
Yeah,
I would really like to see Flay buying Mikhail's.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm just looking at that Amumu, and I feel like if he flash ults, like there's just no way you can dodge that, and then you get followed up by Leona Solar Flare, then the Jhin W's. It's like, I think that's one like you can't get rid of, and I feel like Leona Solar Flare is like one thing because she still has to follow it up with the jump, and I feel like if you can just get Thresh to flay her off and then Lantern you out potentially, it's like you're completely fine. So I wouldn't have taken it if it was just Leona, but yeah, Amumu locked in as well. Have apparently some difficulties in locking in the right champions while we're trying to make lobby, so we're taking a little bit more time and yapping about the draft while we're trying to get into it, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, on the other side, I think you also have this Sejuani Thresh. I think there's decent value there for Jhin to cleanse as well, because I think this guy has so much base movement speed that you, I think, kind of need to take cleanse here to benefit off of this. But I don't know what your take is actually there, because there's also that Cho'Gath, and that knockup, if that lands, you're dead.
I think if I'm okay, let's put it like this: if I'm Jinx this game, I'm thinking cleanse. If I'm Jhin, I'm taking barrier. I don't really think that Jhin as a kit in his kit has so much movement speed that, you know, if you're confident, like as an ADC, you need to have a lot of ego to perform, and that's just a fact. That's just a fact. I'm only talking facts.
Not surprised you say that.
Yeah. So recently my drop in form is because I became humble. But let's leave that behind because we're talking about Ablaze. So Jhin has a lot of movement speed in his kit, so might as well, you know, just pop that barrier and just to cheese out the Cho'Gath ult, you know, bait it out, and just run around. I wonder if he's gonna go the mosquito build or not.
What makes the mosquito build? Is it the static?
Oh,
build?
Static rapid fire.
Okay.
It's my favorite build of all time to play. It's super fun. It doesn't feel good, but it's super fun.
I mean, if it's super fast, I feel like it does feel good, because it's the only way I feel like you can actually kill a tank at some point, because you can kite around all of their CC. But yeah.
Yeah, but imagine a Cho'Gath just somehow lands
he's
a
not
knockup
killing that
you.
Cho'Gath on 6 HP. That is not happening. That's gonna.
Or the Sejuani. You know, the Thresh maybe we could like roll a dice and see if he kills a Thresh, but the Seju and Cho'Gath, I don't think Jhin is in a state to really deal with them.
Yeah, they're definitely gonna need these other carries to step up around and to deal the damage there as well. By the way, yeah, so I guess then we just... there's only like really one more question I can really ask is now that the draft has unfolded. We've already been talking a lot about the champions, but who actually has who has your vote in like, this is what I would prefer to play with, because I think this is easier to execute, or I just think that it's just superior in every way?
So I play ADC and jungle, right? And I would not want to play either the junglers of the teams or the ADCs this game. So next question, please.
What draft won?
Oh, put it like that. Sorry, I'm a bit slow.
Yeah, it was like a fancy way of saying who won draft.
I saw this point brought up in chat, which I agree with. Like, the side of Ablaze doesn't really have a lot of damage to deal with Sejuani and Cho'Gath. Like, sure, you can go Liandry's and some tank melting items on Talia, but is that really enough? And sure, you can go Blade on Jax, but I think Emrys can really scale up their defenses on Sejuani and Cho'Gath, and that can really work as a good front line for the Jinx. And if they can facilitate the Jinx, I think Emrys is in a really good position to win this game.
So you're going with Emrys. I'm really torn here, because I think it's also just that this kind of draft that really needs to get the late game. But when I'm just looking at draft, I I'm also leaning towards Emrys, but then if you have to take into the consideration that these teams also have to execute said draft, I think it's like slightly easier for Ablaze to play the early mid game, and I think if they can get ahead, then it's gonna be so hard for Jinx to play this game. And yeah, if they fall slightly behind, I'm just gonna see that scenario where they just kind of get picked off one by one, and like they lose their carries first, and then the tanks can't kill anything because their carries are gone. And it's gonna take like a million years, but eventually they will kill the Sejuani and the Cho'Gath. Like, it's not gonna look pretty. So
Yeah, but you know, okay, so this is I already see this fight playing out like this. So Elder spawns, okay, I'm envisioning the fight, right?
all right,
So
right. Ooh,
Elder
we're already at
spawns.
35 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, Elder spawns. Ablaze
Wait,
has
set the scene.
has
The
set
sun.
the scene. Okay. The
Later.
sun is setting on the rift. After 38 minutes of bloodshed, Ablaze securing Infernal Soul, waiting and preparing for the Elder Dragon. Emrys on their last stand approaches the Dragon Pit. And then the fight goes on. Jinx dies at the start of the fight, and Sejuani and Cho'Gath just buy so much time. The Jinx is up, they die, but Jinx rocket steals Elder Dragon, and then they just win.
All right, we heard the script leak right here. That would be pretty hype. Like,
So,
and I can also just see like because of the dragon steal, she runs fast enough to join the team fight again, and then just kills the enemies, and then like they end.
She actually runs TP, so she can TP after getting Elder.
Oh!
Yeah,
Yeah, just like forget about barrier cleanse. Just do the zig stick with TP for sure.
No, she actually runs that spellbook. You know, lethal tempo. Nah, we don't take that. We go spellbook here and TP.
Spellbook, yes. We've not explored this yet. Because like you could also run and heal, right? People were saying you need sustain in lane because like fleet. is
True,
nerfed.
and cleanse.
If you don't get fleet anymore, you take heal. How do you get healed? With spellbook, you're onto something. So yeah,
True.
and you can
when
run
you need
ghost as
cleanse,
well to run back
and
fast in the lane
cleanse.
as well.
And cleanse for the Amumu and Leona. That's perfect. That's it. Wait, we might actually be onto something here.
We might be reinventing the ADC meta.
I need to go check the win rate. One
Watch
second.
it here first, people.
Googling win rate
If
right now.
producer can just whisper in my ear very briefly where we are actually on technical. Sorry, can you repeat? Okay. We are in a loading screen, so we'll shortly be on the rift. So both of us kind of leaning towards Emrys here to take it based on draft alone. Maybe to reiterate the stakes, so Ablaze has 3 wins, Emrys only has 2. They both have 2-0'd round table, and Ablaze has an extra win against Chitali. Both of these
You played
squads.
that game, no?
No, I did not play that game. You can play me for a lot of things, but not that game. But yeah, so what was I going to say? Actually, yeah, both of these squads desperately need some wins because in my book, when I looked at these squads on paper, I did not consider them to be at the bottom of the standings where they are. Maybe you can actually give your opinion on that. What do you have anticipated for these teams to be down there at this point in the split already? Because that was...
Yeah, that's a good question.
I mean, you're both played today.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, for him, I would expect, yeah, but Lost for the Reto, not really.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm joking.
He had to be at the top,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, Lost for the Reto, clear favorite. But no, I think both of these teams going in, I had them pegged for a 7th to 8th place, possibly. But I mean, I'm low as well, so, you know, no one to talk here. But anyways,
How's that happening?
well, that's a story
What
for
games
another
did
time.
you
because-
play, huh?
Hey, let's talk about what we're seeing here, right? We got 37 minutes till that Elder fight, right? We need to prep
Alright,
the
yeah.
stage.
Oh man, we have to wait so long for that epic climax. That's crazy, man. It's 30...
All right, no lethal tempo. We're already winning.
Yeah, alright. She has gone cleanse though, so you didn't recommend... Well, actually, wait, you know, we did say that she should be running cleanse because of the Amumu here. There's no way you can play this without it. I'm also seeing both Aftershock? Yeah, Aftershock, right? For the supports as well. No...
Yeah.
Glacial augments, which I do see on these kind of champions as well, because you know, just 9 CC mixed, so that can't even run away. Other than that, I'm not really seeing anything kind of special.
Wait, look at
and-
the jungle pathing though. Amumu starting bot side, so he is either looking for a cheese gank on bot, especially starting on Raptors, or he is looking to just really get this Jack's ahead on Los Morereros because the junglers are pathing opposite sides here.
Yeah, he could look for an early gank, or he could just full clear to get a 6 ASAP. Bot lane, weirdly enough, the Jhin Leona has gotten prio in a lane that I don't think they should have gotten it, but it happened anyways. And looks like Amumu's not going to run the bot lane, he's already running back to the top side. I think they also spotted him out on the Raptors earlier, so they should know. If he's not showing bot lane, they should know exactly where he is, roughly on the top side and what camp. And yeah, pretty basic start so far, nobody taking any risks here.
Yeah, on the other side though, Ablaze does not have a clue where Torment started. At least that's what I think. No
Hey,
words
no,
were
I
placed
mean,
down.
it's the Cho'Gath in the top lane. There's no way he's
Yeah,
going
okay,
to...
yeah, you're right, But who knows? Who knows, right? Because, you know, usually in past splits, the teams that were down at, you know, the lower parts of the standings had some, you know, interesting
path.
ways they played the games. Yeah, because, you know, when you're a bit lower, you can be like, all right, we need to get a win here. You know, let's try something different, right? So possibly, you know, you get ahead the Sejuani Cho'Gath, who's gonna deal with them?
True.
Oh.
Okay, Flay's actually gonna try, I guess, sort of a bluff. Did Flay today, but holds the hook for, well, as I said earlier, tomorrow. And they're just gonna use the I guess a bit of pressure here, because they are getting ahead in terms of HP bars. Chief Blobfish on half HP, and down a level somehow, which is confusing, but means they can probably take up the scuttle there as well for their Sejuani. Happy pig.
Amumu might be looking for a gank on mid here. Behind the Orianna.
Orianna is
I
hovering
think
on
he
the
gets
bot
spotted
side.
by the minions though.
I don't see any pings. Yeah, he's it's not even close. He's just chilling on vision there. Oh, but he's gonna get pushed back actually by Talia, and doesn't actually take any damage at all. And Jägerbomb is just confidently walking forward, trying to push out this Talia who has lost all of her mana.
Jägerbomb played this like Amumu could not cancel his back, like he was locked into that recall regardless what happened, and just started trading. Respect for that play, honestly.
Yeah.
So Flay today might also hook today. Let's see.
Not today. Amumu is actually pathing down here now. Sejuani started her re-clear. Amumu has based already. He's down here. The wave is pushing out. This means they are kind of overextended. Let's see. Flash forward from Blobfish, but that's a weird miss on the bandage toss, which means with a flash she will just get out. No, actually flash is followed from the entire bot lane of Ablaze. They're not getting a kill for this now. They're trying to run down Flay today, and it looks like that Deadly Flourish is gonna it's gonna hit because he flashes in the straight line, and that means he's gonna go down, and first blood is going towards Amumu.
I'm at a loss for words. So that was I think that was the clip. That's a clip. Amumu, unfortunate miss of a bandage toss there.
Yeah, break it down for me. Wait.
Yeah, unfortunate miss on the bandage toss from Amumu, but deciding to not chase down Lekro, Flay today out of position here, flash up, right? He could flash over here under tower at any moment, but decides to walk back and flash in a straight line on the Jhin W. Getting followed up by a bandage toss and ultimately giving up first blood.
Yeah, very unfortunate bot lane situation. Losing first blood. Now Jägerbomb is under a bit of attack here, but he's got backup from Torment, which means he should be able to just get out, but he doesn't have any mana, so there, yeah, a bit of chunk from Torment back onto Repent, but it's not going to amount to anything.
Yeah, Jägerbomb really being saved out by Torment there, on no mana on mid as well. Repent really had a kill angle, or at least he could have burned Jägerbomb's flash, as Torment hovering around that dragon. You know, maybe there was the thought going through his head of starting it with the Jinx bot lane, might be able to get prio. But yeah, that's it for now. Small 1000 gold lead for the side of Ablaze in the first 6 minutes of the game. No major objective being picked up just yet, but Amumu is moving topside now towards those grubs.
Yeah, he's gonna prioritize the grubs, even though they actually got bot lane ahead, but I feel like they're winning on every lane but mid, I guess. I feel like it should be even, but it looks like Jägerbomb has been showing a little bit more dominant in that lane so far. Which means I think he can kind of get his pick of the litter in terms of jungle objectives. Now Torment finds a wandering Chief Blobfish into the jungle, and that Flay will hit today. Actually, no, it's a hook, never mind, dead sentence. And now they're just casually killing a Chief Blobfish who has no flash. Easy punish.
And easy punish. Late today, unfortunately, picking up the kill there. I think Lekro would have really loved
Oh
to
no!
get it.
Oh, that's so unfortunate.
But the wave here, they're deciding to not really hold the freeze. There is no one to contest the dragons. Okay, Flay already moved down to the bot. But that was a very big wave on the side of Ablaze being pushed into Emrys. So I think if Jinx loses that wave, it
Yeah, he
I mean,
will
it's
just
kinda
be a good
fine.
AD carry to help out his jungler to get that objective. That zap will hit on Ghosty, but Leona is around. Chompers also connect, but yeah, Flay doesn't want any of it. He's telling his ADC to go pick up the wave.
Yeah, I think that's a smart call. You're already 20 CS behind as Jinx at this stage of the game, and I don't really think that's where you want to be. I'm also interested what items Lekro is gonna opt here for Jinx, right? Because last season, or sorry, last split, we've had a variety of builds.
It's a different season.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great ultimate from Amumu, and it's just lining it up like we talked about earlier. Repent getting himself a mid lane kill on Jägerbomb, who is now falling down. That is a casual kill here.
Yeah, I mean, the difference not being spotted by minions makes, huh?
Yeah. Or maybe he just didn't wait this time. Just
Yeah,
went.
one of the two, but regardless, a kill on the board now for Repent as well. 2 for 1 in the kills, with Grubs on Ablaze and Dragon on Emrys. And it's not gonna be Inferno Soul, so maybe my scenario from before the game start is not coming true.
It is. It's too soon to tell, I feel like, at this point, but it is an early lead, though, for the side of the
Ooh.
place. That hook is not going to connect the Ghosty, who is
Hook
covered by
tomorrow.
minions. And yeah, Sejuani is now around. They're taking turns ganking bot lane. Not really counter. Oh, but that's going to be a glacial prison connecting. The chompers are down as well. He does not have flash at all, which means Lekro can just gun him down with a minigun. Now they're walking down this Leona. He does have flash, but it's going to not. Oh, that's a beautiful Super Mega Death Rocket for the double kill for Lekro. I was a bit confused as to how that was being played out, but they will get the kill anyways, and they get his flash. Beautiful bot lane play here for the side of Emrys. Meanwhile, top lane fighting to the death with that feast, almost eating up all of the health bar of Los Murderetto, but he just wins out right now. But that is a leap forward under tower into death. Why?
Oh, leap forward straight into a tower shot and grass proc and everything from Ray on that Shogat. Just donating the kill. Lost for the rate of feeling generous tonight. You know,
Oh,
nice to see that there is still generous people in the world. But yeah, a really good play beforehand on the bot side from Emrys. So Ablaze getting that early lead in the first few minutes of the game, but you know, really losing it now in the last 2 minutes or so, as we have Grubs coming up in the next 40 seconds and Dragon in the next 2 minutes. Ablaze pulling their support, pulling Chief Blobfish up to the top side to contest those Grubs. That's it for now. There might be a fight happening.
He's on that ward, and he's going to use that time to give him the thumbs up when he's missing the death sentence. I like that. Always show good manners. And they are sitting up for a wait. That's a bot lane 1v1, and it's gonna go to Lekro. Somehow, Jin found himself very aggressive and not winning out on that trade. So that's a third kill for the Jinx here. Pretty well set up to scale in this game. Now they are losing Prior over the Grubs here, but they still have 2 people in the mid lane that could move and rotate over to contest the last 2 Grubs. And it will look like Flay wants to get a piece of this, but he's going to get caught out by the Curse of the Sad Mummy, and that's going to be followed up by Repent. And that Shockwave miffed absolutely everybody, and that means that Torment's following up into absolutely a completely lost play. It's going to throw out the Glacial Storm just to stall out the fight. Now Olivam has been baited in as well. He will feast one, but he will die as well, and I'm pretty sure that they will still lose the Grubs here as well. So at least in the top side, things are going well for Ablaze.
That fight was all over the place. I mean, I was looking
break
all of
it
a
down.
sudden. Yeah, all right, let's break
Analyze
it down.
it.
So first of all, that shockwave goes somewhere. It doesn't really hit someone in this dimension, but all of a sudden, Torment out of position here, looking like he might die, gets saved by Flay today, or sorry, Hook today, but all of a sudden Ray from the back, going in onto Chief Blobfish, getting that feast in, trading 1-for-1, and Grubbs being picked up by the side of Ablaze. All the while, on bot side, Lekro picked up a kill beforehand, and also some plates, finishing his Infinity Edge already 12 minutes into the game. So that Jinx is massive right now.
They definitely should play with the Jinx right now, because we saw a very nice display of a lack of damage, especially when that shockwave goes completely wide in that top lane fight. They do have one feast from Cho'Gath, but if you're using it for the support, it doesn't feel very good. Olafam chilling on a ward will probably... No, he won't even find out because the minions won't even hit him, which means, yeah, Emrys is just chilling in the jungle and will get themselves a dragon. He could try and steal it over the wall, but I think it's a bit risky and he might die if he does that.
Yeah, pushing the dragon out of the pit, but they are posturing for a team fight here. Jinx on a completed item. I don't really know if this is what you want to do. One reset from Lekro, and I think the whole side of Ablaze melts. Ball being put out.
Does
This
not
time
have
for
ultimate as well. They're gonna call the curtains here just to get it low, but that shockwave's gonna pull down two people. With the smite securing, that's gonna be the dragon. They're gonna trade their jungler for it though. I think it's still kind of fine so far, but that Deadly Flourish is now going to lock up play, and that means he's going to get run down. I don't think he's getting out of this one, but that Super Mega Deathstroke at least turns one kill, sidesteps the pushback from Repent, and he's still trying to trade a bit back, which means Jinx now has gotten a kill off this as well, but I'm not sure if that's... Who got the better out of this one?
I think Emrys got the better out of this one, really building up their, kills at this stage of the game. First of all, they went to Olivem's Amumu, and that's not, I think, the champion that the side of Ablaze is gonna look to carry with, as they're getting really close up on top side. But picking up the dragon, really securing that late game scaling for the side of Emrys here, and the kill on top of Jinx, I think that's what matters.
Yeah, they are two Drakes in. Oh, never mind. Fight in the mid lane here as Torment will force the flash out of Chief Blobfish. And yeah, it is the Hextech Rift, which means Hextech Souls on the table, and I think that's like absolutely the worst soul to ever play into, especially as an AD carry, because you're getting slowed by 5 times in a team fight, and then it resets and then you get slowed 5 times again. It's just absolutely unplayable. So if that soul gets picked up by Emrys with their late game scaling comp, I think it's kind of unplayable for something like a Jax who needs to be able to move and maneuver in these team fights and get to those carries. Yeah, the scaling for dragons definitely a big win condition here for Emrys so far. And other than that, yeah, they've managed to pick themselves up at least one of the top side objectives with this Herald, so they might want to use this on getting some of these towers down, probably mid lane.
Yeah, probably mid lane. Want to point out there are items being finished now from both sides as well. We have the Blade of the Ruin King on top side, Sunfire matching in. Jungle Amumu with the Liandry's, right? So that's going to be some extra damage to get down, to melt down the front line of Emrys. I think Liandry still does max health H damage,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's still burns.
Yeah, it still burns, so that's always a good item to pick up. I don't think it would be bad if you could see it on Talia as well, getting that Seraphs, almost upgraded. Or sorry, is that Archangel and then the upgraded version Seraph? I always mix it up.
Yeah, Archangel's turns into Seraph's Embrace. So that's,
yeah,
he's 18 mana away from that upgrading and finishing.
18? On my screen it says 13.
Well, 30, yeah, now. When I was looking at it, it's 42.
No, it can never be 18, because you get 3, no, or do you get 5?
I don't know.
I swear you get 3 mana for pickup, no?
You know, I feel like we spent more time on this, so we should definitely do the research so we definitely don't give any false information to anybody out
Yeah,
there.
you should start a practice tool right now. Because
yeah.
I don't think there's going to be a fight.
He got 5 mana! It adds up! It adds up!
Wait, he actually... Why is it 360? Just make it 400 then.
It is 400 total, I think, because you get like.
Wait, if he's getting 5
whatever,
mana,
I don't care anymore.
if he's getting 5 mana, how is he on 357? That's
oh, we're
not
ADCs. We're stop talking about the mid lane.
Yeah, true. I just look at U.GG builds, and that's all I have to think about.
Exactly, that's how we play the game. Now, Amumu is set up for a play here. Jägerbomb doesn't... now he sees Chief Blobfish coming around. He's going to flash away from the Vanish Toss. I didn't even think that would have connected. Now, Chief Blobfish is walking up, but nobody else is chasing, so that he can't even really use that Solar Flare to get anything. Now, Emrys has taken control over the mid lane of the map, and Ghosty's not really respecting that. But that is everything going wide, like he's not even dodging people. That is a very sad one to look at. That hook at least will connect, but I don't think you can really play off of that one. And now they are the ones who could potentially get turned on. Curse of the Sad Mummy is available. We're gonna land everything on play today, but that's a triple max shockwave, but they've already eliminated the support now. Dormant's trying to fight back, and that Curse of the Sad Mummy is only gonna connect to the 2, but the Super to Mega Death Rocket will get 2 hits there with 1 kill on Olivam. And that will probably end the team fight here, because Jinx is still very healthy now, 5 kills to 0. But no way, unfortunately, to get any more damage on this tower. They still have the Herald, but they haven't used it yet.
Yeah, and most importantly, Dragon is spawning in the next 25 seconds. Los Morderero picking up a tower up on top side here. Ablaze still keeping their slight gold lead, again getting it back to 1.5k. But these team fights always going to the sides of Emrys there. I do want to point out that Flay was caught out of position a tiny bit, and it was really nicely done from Ablaze, really, you know, capitalizing on that mistake. But Emrys punishing, you know, that over chase, you know, using a lot of abilities just to kill Thresh. And at the end of the day, I think Emrys still came up on top.
Jinx has all summoners available. Was wondering, walking there could be a little bit dangerous. Now this Hulk is doing quite a bit of work. That is actually Counter-Strike and Solar Flare and everything connecting on the Jinx. Their main carry has died right off the start. He had all summoners. He's not going to use his flash, and that means that Torment is absolutely out of position out of River, and he has to flash away as well. Flay today is walking up forward. He's going to get a death sentence on to Repent, and he's going to get jumped on by this Cho'Gath, but he doesn't have too much mobility to keep on chasing. He's going to die. They're going to trade for Los Murdereto, and the Lantern will not save this Sejuani. That's a double kill thanks to the burn of the Liandry's on that jungler, and that means this third dragon has to go the side of Ablaze.
Yeah, and again, at team fight, Lekro, you know, not respecting Los Murdereto, not respecting the jump. Oh, that rocket coming in. Oh, wait, that was way too
timing
close.
could have stolen.
Yeah, it could have stolen or killed Repent. Yeah, but as I was saying, Lekro not really respecting Los Murdereto, and Los Murdereto really capitalizing, jumping on top of Lekro, getting that stun in, and nicely followed up by Chief Blobfish.
I mean, he activated his invisibility. He couldn't see.
True. Yeah. You know, that's the
secret passive from Jax. When he uses Counter Strike, he vanishes. And,
I mean, Captain Jack on the cleanse as well, but it really takes me back. I remember once I played Xayah with cleanse, and I used cleanse after the CC was over.
That's how you use it, though.
Yeah,
just get
but again,
the tenacity for later. But yeah.
If Jinx was here in this fight would be so one-sided for the side of Emrys, with a really nice shockwave from Jaeger Bomb, but it was just not enough damage from the side of Emrys once Lekro was dead.
Losing the Jinx is not very good for your teamfight chances. He is almost going to finish. Wait, that build path is a rapid fire cannon? Or is that Hurricane?
Is it? No, yeah, it might be both. I don't know.
Okay.
It's almost like we don't play ADC. Why are we asking?
I don't know, I don't build it that much anymore. I'm like always going PD lately because I think the movement speed was broken, but they gutted that as well, so I don't know. But it's going to be Hurricane actually, so he wants to do AoE splashing. I think that makes sense here. I think a lot of members should be stacked on top of each other, and that feels really good for Jinx. As Amumu is trying to fight 3 members and seems to do so successfully, chasing all 3 out of the river.
Yeah, Repent also very big right now on that Talia. 2 items completed for him. And you know, we also see this Jhin, Ghosty was quite far behind, I think, in lane, losing out to Lekro as well, but he is kind of catching up. He is relatively close to his Infinity Edge. Obviously the price went up by 200 gold, but that's just inflation.
Yeah, the economy's kind of bad right
now. Economy's bouncing, but it's gonna come back to us ADC mains, you know, it's not always gonna be this rough.
Inflation hitting the rift feels definitely rough, and yeah,
ADC is bad for two days. We should buff ADC now.
Gotta love production in my ear saying -1 to the players missing Canis. So he's also playing with people apparently. It's not just us.
Hey,
But,
I mean, we're not flaming, we're renaming, right?
right, right. Oh, yeah, yeah, you're right. Absolutely, absolutely. But, yeah, so far it looks like the game is kind of stabilizing, and when I'm taking a quick look at the goal, the last team fight definitely put Ablaze in a solid lead, but still, almost all of that gold is on the Amumu, and he's definitely a scary part, but you always had to respect him anyway, so if they can just make sure that that ultimate doesn't connect on the Jinx or Orianna, I feel like they should still be in a very good position to win team fights, but yeah, that is if you're in a good position.
Yeah, you know, the thing with Amumu is he's a bit of a silly champion, right? Like, he has a lot of damage in his kit for some
Don't
reason.
make funs of a Mumu. That champion's sad, man. He wants friends.
True, but I don't think he's gonna get friends with having a kit that does so much damage paired with a Leandris. Because even if he gets on top of Jinx, I don't think Emrys have enough damage to kill him at this stage of the game. And I think he on his own can deal with the Jinx.
Yeah, yeah. If he gets left alone with that Jinx, he absolutely wins. But that's like almost every champion. If they get left alone with an AD carry, they win, unless it's another AD carry.
No, no. I don't think Yumi can win if she's left alone with an ADC.
Oh, think you'd be surprised. No, no. Okay, I won't go that far.
I mean, I've seen Kraken Slayer Yumis do some mad work.
Ooh. Maybe we should start playing non-ADCs in the ADC. That could be.
So, you know, just looking at some builds here, and nothing seems different from last season. So, -1. But sorry, I'm just saying what my producer says. It's in the contract. It's like when producer says -1, you need to repeat it as fast as possible.
Yeah, analyst job's kind of easy, right? Because it's actually all Pepper saying everything in your ear.
Yeah, true.
By the way, he's also an ADC main, people. ADC
he
main
is?
supremacy.
Oh,
And that shockwave will find all of them, and he's gonna flash away from it. Didn't look all that scary of a situation, but they will respect the fact that Torment's coming around the side. Now he's going to engage on Los Mordreto, who is responding with a counter-strike, and now they're all jumping on the tanks here. That Weaver's Wall is going to split the team fight sort of into some curtain call bullets are landing on the Lekro, and he's going to whiff the Super Mega Death Rocket, but there's still going to be the kill on the Amumu. That gives Lekro some movement speed to kite around, and that's a Ghosty flashing around the wall not to get the kill. Now Lekro's kind of just walking around, gunning everybody down with the help of his teammates. The CC's coming down from Frey as well, and that's going to be 4 kills with only their jungler dead so far as an answer. And Ghosty, who was on a mission, went also just behind enemy lines to quietly recall back into it.
yeah, and Emrys finally finding a fight on their terms, playing it front to back, with Jinx really being in a position to hit the whole game. And you know, it worked out in the end. The Lekro being close to dying a couple of times during that fight, as you know, Los Mordreto being the first one to get caught out here. That Weaver's Wall more hampering the side of Ablaze than helping them. Lekro getting some resets here on the Amumu and really kiting back. Ghosty flashing over the wall, trying to get a pick with that forward shot, but it not being enough. And now Ghosty finds himself in a rough situation. His front line and back line are dying, and he's just on the opposite side of the map of where he's supposed to be. Maybe that's what saved him.
Jin, no?
Yeah, Mosquito Jin build. Actually,
But
no,
he's
sorry.
not gone Mosquito, though.
Yeah,
He hasn't.
yeah.
He has yet one more item to pick up there.
Yeah,
I will say,
most
mosquitoes are pretty
importantly-
good assassins. Like, when you look at global statistics, they are very ruthless killers.
That is true. There's a
Ray, oh, but look at that Jin damage on this Cho'Gath. He's going to die almost through this 4th shot. Let's see if he can actually land it. Never mind, he's going to return to auto attacks in order to deal more damage to cheap Blobfish in kind easily. Now, they are trying to catch the midwave, which is being pushed, but no teamfight's going to start of that just yet, because we have to TP back in the bot lane because Lost Murder was split.
Yeah, I was gonna say, most importantly, after that team fight, Emrys is now on soul point and getting that gold league closer to it being even from 3k down to 2k, or 1.5 actually. I'm pretty good at math if you haven't noticed yet. But Jinx very close to that 3-item spike now. LDR is on the table for Jinx. Also getting a shutdown on Repent, who I think is the main damage dealer for Ablaze. So once Repent is down, or once Repent is in a position where he can't hit, Ablaze's team fighting will just collapse. and that is something to look out for. I think if Emrys can make a pick on Repent, I think they can just continue the fight and win it.
The interrupt there from the ultimate from Vray means that he's actually just absolutely one-shotting the the Jax with the ultimate. And with that kill in the side lane, that is going to apply so much pressure on Blaze.
Yeah, and you know, that Jax build is purely for...
Oh, Shockwave now connecting. It followed up into a beautiful chain here from Torment at the Glacial Prison and getting a kill there as well on another solo laner in a side lane. You are not welcome there and you will be both eliminated. But now there's a response from Ablaze to try and push down the mid lane tower, which is still quite healthy. Lekro should be able to put a stop to this, and I think meanwhile they're also going to bleed more towers because bot and top are pushing against you, and Ablaze is now bleeding gold. And that is, with that actually, Emrys first takes the gold lead now at 27 minutes into the game, and they're going to start up a Baron.
Yeah, and this is a Baron that I don't really see the side of Ablaze contesting. Or maybe Emrys just
Doesn't
decides
look like they have to, because
off?
Ray has started a fight in the mid lane because they really want to kill this mummy. It's pretty sad, but it's going to be a flay into a hook and then into a curse of the sad mummy as a way of stalling it out, but it's not going to matter because Feast is up and you've gotten eaten, and without Smite on the map, I don't think you're ever getting through this front line or to even get to the big purple worms to this Baron, this Hulk.
Yeah, and I think right now Emrys is in a state where if they don't make mistakes, right, if they just stay as a unit, they can just move as 5 on the map and not really be contested. Dragon's coming up in a minute 30, and once they get that Ocean Soul on the board, you really won't be able to kill them. With healing reduction being nerfed this patch as well, Ablaze is in a really rough spot right now.
Absolutely, and they have managed to pick up 3 towers though in a very brief moment, so the gold gap's not growing any bigger, but I feel like they already lost teamfights when they were ahead, now being even slightly behind. They're in a rough spot, as you already said, and Drake is spawning in a minute. The minions are now pushing automatically with the Baron buffs up, so like this is gonna be pretty rough. And I feel like the only argument that you have against this comp is split pushing, but when the Cho'Gath can 1v1 your split pushing champion who's trying to kill tanks, you got a problem.
Sorry, I just thought, oh, all of them being caught out here by Torment.
Nah, I think he's fine. I think he's fine on this one, but
Oh,
maybe not
you're
if you go
back
back in. But we're now burning everything on the Sejuani. This is a bit of a weird one, but it looks like they almost might get him out. Never mind, the great flay, not a flay, that's a lantern to get Torment out. Means their smite is still alive when the dragon's gonna spawn in 18 seconds. But that is 3 ultimates burn on the side of Ablaze, who now have to contest against the soul point taking from Emrys here. Flay trying to get that death sentence in, but that's not going to connect. But the zap did, and now Ghosty's out of position. He's going to be run down. Never mind, he's actually going to be able to walk away. TP's coming in to help out a team fight while Chief Blobfish dies. Super Mega Death Rocket doesn't quite connect, and now Los Reto is on a mission behind enemy lines to just run away from a lone Flay who's going to defend the base. And with that fight, I guess sort of a team fight, done, it looks like it's all going to be on a Mumu to try and smite steal this, because you don't have a team to contest any fights anymore. He doesn't even see the dragon right now, I believe. He's going to run around, but I think it's too late, and that is Soul as well for Emrys. I think this is about the final few seconds we see in this game.
Yeah, I think the side of Emrys can just run it down mid here and push the towers. They still have a few seconds of Baron. But no wave as it stands. If there's a fight going on bot, then Amumu might be out of position and just dying. Yep. Yeah, +1 for Ray there on the stack counter.
+1. He's been actually gotten quite a lot of kills in that sense. Now, they have found a lone Flay today who missed his death sentence, and that will sentence him to death, unfortunately. So their siege will probably be halted a little bit. Never mind, bot lane Cho'Gath is very confidently trying to push here. I think he's backing off in respect. I don't think he even needs to now. Chief Blobfish. Actually, never mind. Lost Murderetto found Lekro. He's gonna put him pretty low, but then the CC follows up. And that's all she wrote for Lost Murderetto. And we're trying to get the Sejuani, but we're not gonna be able to because the backup from Jägerbomb is there. Frey's now flashing over the wall to just run them down. This Hextech Soul makes it absolutely impossible to move and run away, which means you're all dead. Now, Mumu has come back, but he's just going to come back to probably die again if he even tries to get these minions. He's gonna jump into the enemy lines, trying his best to get the Sejuani, but that means that Lekro is just gonna gun down your turrets even faster because she got excited. And when she gets excited, she gets your turrets, and when she gets your Nexus turrets, she will get the Nexus, and she will get the win for game 1 in Emrys versus Ablaze.
Yeah, as predicted, we're pretty good at analyzing drafts. But yeah, no, Emrys really well played. Sadly, we didn't get that Elder fight that I was hyping up earlier,
Yep.
but really well played from the side of Emrys. I think once they understood how to really play that draft as a front to back, you know, that one fight that worked, it just went uphill from that point. But Cho'Gath just looks OP.
Yeah, the Jax blind does not seem like it pays off pretty well. Even the Borg there, not going to be able to put even a dent in the HP bar from that Cho'Gath. So maybe they did have to commit more to putting the Cho'Gath behind. I've seen that in the past in pro play. That's how you really bully the Cho'Gath. Just make sure that he can't even lane and get any stacks. But he kind of chilled. He got his farm. He got his stacks. He traded his life for a couple of kills, I think, in the early game as well. So he got way too tanky, and yeah, Jhin is not the best answer to killing Cho'Gath, is now confirmed, I guess. So it's going to be back to the drawing board for Ablaze, while Emrys is going to take a victory here, and they are definitely keen on making it a 2-0 to put themselves in a bit better of standings for the remainder of the SLE split. So we will be back shortly for that after a quick break, and we will see you back soon.
When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. Earth from a bird's eye view. You should grow feathers and see this too. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. Clear sky. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. Earth from a bird's eye view. You should grow feathers and see this too. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. When you want to get off the darkest ground, still of the night, gazing up at the sky. When the stars began to fade, dimming lanterns in our eyes, thought there was nothing to find. I stopped searching for a reason, just let the world embrace us. In the silence we are one. Can't escape from this feeling inside you. Release from heartache, you'll be fine. When the cracks start to let you run right through, I'll be there to help you shine. Promise you this, as long as you're looking, you'll see the signs. Just for a moment, a flash of light, you'll never forget. I heard you crying aloud, and a part of me cried with you. I finally see why all the meteors fall out of you. Can't escape from this pressure inside you, but tonight the stars align. When the cracks start to let your own light through, I'll be there to help you shine. I'll never mistake the way you give me my faith. My body feels safe in your hands. Feel me fully fade. I'm light as a fire that I'm letting you escape. The stars still remember to fall to our fate. I don't wanna wait. Every single part of me in flames. Tell me how it tastes. Let me be the harmony you crave.
Welcome back, everyone, to Game 2 of Emrys Hyenas versus Ablaze, where Emrys took a Game 1 victory, playing it kind of like a standard front-to-back scaling composition to beat out Ablaze, who kind of ran into a wall and died. So definitely curious about how this next draft is going to unfold, because I think there's definitely a lot of adaptations to be made. Sanex, wouldn't you think so?
Yeah, one would think so. You know, we see two bans that were banned previously, Yon and Darius, both being banned again. So I'm really interested if any of the picks that were banned played last game are going to be banned now. Looking at stuff like Amumu, Jinx, I think those champions were really making a lot of stuff. As we see an Amumu hover here, and I think it will be banned out for the side of Emrys, champion that makes the game really hard to play for the AD carry.
Yeah, but I mean, didn't really seem to be much of an issue since Emrys took the victory actually against the Amumu. So, bit weird one that they're the first ones in the draft to show that they're actually adapting. Are we expecting a Jin B1 again?
I think it might just be a Jinx B1 if it's open here. I think Emrys knows what's strong and what's not. Lucian, a champion that I've seen a tier list being rated pretty highly, and it is still open in draft. We saw some ADC bans last time around. Kai'Sa, Lucian both being banned out, and with 2 bans left, I think at least one of those champions is going to be open, next to the Jinx as well. So I think we're going to be a bit of a different bot lane matchup this time around than a Jhin into Jinx in Split 3.
I just hope to not see the Jin again because the enemy had a pretty good response into it, like just big tanks and GG. But yeah, Lucian is open. I'm not
Ooh.
really expecting it, and they're actually going to ban the Jinx out themselves because they want to be one something else entirely. Apparently, the Kai'Sa I think was banned by Emrys last time around, and it is still open unless Ablaze decides to take that away now as well.
Yeah, and Jinx being banned out, I think is pretty interesting. Means Emrys has a lot of prio on a pick right now, and that pick is not Jinx, so they don't want to first pick it. Lucian being banned out, so I think Kai'Sa, if you want to play an ADC, I think Kai'Sa is probably the strongest in this position. But you know, let's see what gets picked out here. We have, you know, new split, new patch, a lot of stuff changed. We saw one game. You know, let's see what Emrys cooked up here for a B1.
I mean, they're not insta locking either, which is a kind of a confusing one to me. But
Ooh, Ashe
maybe
is
it
still
was.
open.
Maybe it was the
Kai'Sa.
Lucian, but it's going. It will be the Kai'Sa then. But I feel like there's decent answers into Kai'Sa. I'm not sure like why we want to prioritize this one as a B1 this highly, but I guess people just really like this champion. But I think the response into this, if you can play this, is actually really good. But they're not locking in just yet.
Yeah, I mean Samira could be pretty good into Kai'Sa, but you also have to think about Samira being hit a lot on the items as well. Collector being hit massively.
Oh yeah, big,
IE being hit as well.
very true.
So that Jhin hover scared me for a second. But are we gonna be seeing another bot on R1 R2 here, or is that gonna be a Zyra jungle? Nope, it's a Sion
definitely
top.
flexible for sure, and well, I wouldn't say Sion's definitely top because I've seen Senna Sion bot lane as well. Since we weren't scaling last time, that could be an option.
True,
I actually
true.
don't know how. Because in that situation, no, it would be fasting Senna. I suppose I'm farming Sion, right? She has not really been that prevalent anymore since they kind of adjusted her. And the enchanter thing is like something that comes up every once in a blue moon, but other than that, not really happening. And it's just going to be a Sejuani again for Emrys, which makes sense. I think this is one of the tanky junglers left. That feels pretty good. It's pairs really well with Kai'Sa. Just going to lock it down. Then again, Zyra is a lot better at dealing with tanks if it's jungle. So maybe Ablaze is not too worried about the Sejuani. Then again, I feel like a straightforward playstyle from a Sejuani is maybe more preferred though.
Yeah, and you know, pairing that with Leona again, a lot of CC from the side of Emrys here. Sejuani, Leona, you know, we saw Leona on one team, Sejuani on the other one. Now is being paired up. Leona working very well with Sejuani as well, really allowing her E passive to you know just proc and CC chain for so long. And you know, the person that benefits the most out of that is Kai'Sa, really getting those plasma procs in. That melt tanks, you know, I think to keep in mind.
She is very low range, and actually with Kai'Sa, would she go PTA here to get the bonus by damage, or do you think that there's an angle for the on-hit kind of build with Lethal?
I think regardless, you kind of always want to go PTA right now because Lethal Tempo is kind of bad, but the draft that Ablaze has now is very tanky with no CC, so maybe Lethal Tempo could actually work this game.
Yeah,
I mean,
from
if
what
you-
I'm looking, she could definitely kite around this, right?
Yeah, this is very kiteable for Kaisa. Honestly, if I was Kaisa here, I'd go like Kraken, Rageblade, and Terminus, and just free hit, and you get some AP DPS on mid. Something like a Talia would again work pretty good. Or I have no idea what mid lane champions are actually played right now, so I'm just talking out of somewhere.
I mean,
But
it is day 2 of the patch, so
yeah, but
anyone's
getting
guess.
some consistent AP damage from mid lane here and allowing Kaisa to really go that full on hit build would be really good here, because it would allow her to utilize the kit and everything perfectly, because they don't have anything to lock Kaisa down right now. No tools on the side of Ablaze.
They're gonna take away the Orianna, which is one of those picks I feel like that has a consistent TPS in a team fight, but will be taken away. There are still other options that come to mind when you're mentioning consistent DPS, like something like Cassio, but it's a very hard champion to pull off if you're not very comfortable on it. So curious to see what is gonna come out from Jägerbomb. It was Jägerbomb, right, on the side of Emrys, and
Yeah.
on the side of Ablaze. Both mid laners still have to pick. I think with the mid laners being taken away, that means that I think Ablaze should probably take their mid laner on this next pick. It's not.
They
a
should
lot
pick their
to go
ADC.
for. Oh wait, yeah, they still have to. Oh, don't do that. That's so lame.
I don't know about Vayne. Oof. Vayne locked in. So
That's not an ADC. That's a top laner. I refuse to acknowledge it as an ADC.
Vayne is my most played champion. Actually, no.
It's a top laner.
Kaisa is my most played champion, but Vayne was before, and I really dislike how Vayne feels in lane. I think she loses a lot of lane prio, especially to a lot of champions like Kaisa or Jinx that have
I
AoE.
think I don't think there's a single lane where she gets prio.
Yeah, there is not. There's just lanes that she outright wins if you just all in. But the thing is with Vayne, you kind of have to just send it and play it actually effectively. And I think into a lane like Kaisa Leona, with a lot of CC and a lot of burst, I think Vayne might actually struggle. So if Vayne gets to a stage of the game where she's not getting hit, Vayne is a really good pickup here. Because she will deal with that Sejuani and Leona frontline, and she has a frontline of her own. She has a Poppy to peel and a Sion to peel for her. But now on the other hand, we just have Hui, which is just a long-range artillery mage, and it is one of those AP DPSs that I wanted to see. And Jack's not blind this time.
Wait, show is open, by the way. Would Los Murderetta actually just pick it here to try the reverse matchup? I kind of would. I would like that actually. I kind of wanted to see that. But
Yeah, but where does the Sion go? Mid then? Into
put a
play?
support. Who cares?
No, but you need Poppy to support.
Put him in the jungle. Sarah mid lane. But yeah, no.
What
I
are
guess
you cooking?
They are. Yeah, I just want to see that matchup, but it's gonna be. Wait.
Wait.
So it is Sarah mid lane. What I
Wait,
said.
no. Is it Gwen mid? Wait, is it Gwen mid?
Like they have. Okay, so Sion is most likely top lane, but I don't necessarily think it is. So it has to be Zara mid lane then, I guess, or Gwen. But I think that's a really weird one.
I think Poppy's going support.
Yeah,
This is cooked.
because it's a Leona, right? So that makes sense, I guess. So Poppy Vayne support, Sion top, Zara jungle, and Gwen mids. Or I guess maybe. Or what about Sion versus Wei? But yeah, neither for some mid lane.
No, I don't think Sion versus Quake. I mean, maybe Gwen versus Quay is actually an angle. I don't know. This is like definitely something from MasterChef right now. Like this is really cool. This is like a finals dish, This is like one of those finals dishes that it looks really good, right? Like it looks
Do you
like
taste
something something special and unique, And after the game, we're gonna be able to see whether it was good or it just looks good on paper. I mean, I don't even know if this looks good on paper, right? So let's, if you look at Vayne, ADC is a champion that has not really been good for
As
the past
ADC
few.
forever.
Yeah, for like the past few seasons, it wasn't good.
You could say 10th
But-
season. You.
No, it's fine event, like at some point.
Yeah,
think.
but I think that's back in season 5 or something. Like, do you remember the name Gosu, right? That's the famous Vayne
Oh
player.
my god. Yeah,
What-
yeah.
What? That's a throwback to season 3 or something, no?
Yeah, and then he fell off.
Yeah,
Because Vayne
because
stopped being
Vayne
good
fell
on ADC. Yeah. But yeah, you know, you have Vayne Poppy, so maybe they can just decide to all in onto the Kai'Sa, right? A lot of wall interactions. Why didn't they just go on Nivea? Think about it. You have two champions on your team that want all wall interactions. They should just send in a Nivea and set up your Poppy, bro. But then lag the damage to do anything else.
I've seen recently in Anivia in a different league and did not look good. So I'm not sure about that one. It is a tech you could use, I guess, with the Poppy, but it's a weird one.
Oh no, hear me out. Emrys should have gone on Nivea. You can wall the Scion ult.
That is actually not that bad because I think they're right now. I think one of a very huge problems for the side of Ablaze is that they lack range, whereas Wei is probably outranging everybody, and Sejuani can just ult to engage. She doesn't even have to commit her jump, so they can just Kai'Sa could also just lean into an AP build and just nuke something from far away. I think this is a very rough draft because there's actually only one serious tank, which is Sion, because if Poppy is support, she has to get ahead to actually be tanky. So Kai'Sa doesn't even have to go AD to spread the damage pattern, because I think Jax can just kill Sion anyway. I feel like the draft for Ablaze is incredibly hard to play, but if this guy on Vayne is a god, I guess there's outplay potential against Leona / Jax. Although, not actually Jax, like the counter stack it ruins Vayne, no?
Yeah, it does. I do also think that Jax this time around has a lot of an easier matchup because Sion doesn't have the sustain Shogun has. I think the sustain Shogun has is absolutely disgusting. You can stay in lane for a minute or two longer just from his sustain alone. And you know, I think any bruiser really at the end of the day struggles into that, right? Because what bruisers do is they trade health for health, and they play for that kill at the end of the day. And when you're playing into Cho'Gath, you're trading, you're losing out just as much as the Cho'Gath, but he heals 100, 200 just after a wave or two, and then all of a sudden, all the trading you did was just irrelevant. But now Jax has a matchup that really allows him to play, and Emrys, what they can do is they can just wait for the Jax to scale up, you know, get the Jax to a hull breaker, and you send him side lane, because realistically, who will match the Jax?
Who can match the Jax? I think. Yeah, I do think that Gwen with her Q can just still kind of play against it, but yeah, I'm not so sure about that lane interaction actually. I feel like Gwen on a couple items actually could deal with the Jax because that Q deals so much damage.
Yeah, but then Jax on a couple of items also does a lot of damage, right? Especially with his W and attack resets and his ult. Who knows? It's a new season, right? It's new surprises.
Yeah,
Maybe this is just the meta. Maybe Ablaze just has an insane meta read here. Maybe this is the new best five.
I will admit they are definitely cooking, but I there's no way this is the meta read. It's like I'm not gonna go as far as to say that they're like this is gonna be what everybody's gonna do here, because I refuse to believe that Vayne's gonna be a standard ADC.
Yeah, I hope she is. I really like seeing this champion because it opens up a lot of mechanical plays for ADCs and just people to show off their mechanics. Because you do have to position and play with your stealth as well very effectively. Because at the end of the day, you're still an ADC and you get popped. And she's not one of those longer range ADC champions that we're used to nowadays, like Jinx and company. But she is pretty short range. She needs to get into it. So yeah, you know, maybe I pray that this is a good Vayne showing, and then I'll be, you know, delusional enough to pick it myself and lose games because of it.
Well, now producer is showing us that for what we are seeing, at least if people are in the right order, that the Gwen is going top lane and the Sion is going mid lane into the Wei. I think that makes Wei's lane incredibly free in terms of farming. But we've seen tanks in the mid lane played before. I think Sion was one of them. Cassante has been one of them that people just pick it in pro play. They just be very obnoxious in the mid lane, just survive it anyway, and then use the CC in the kit to set up for plays for their jungler. But I'm not really sure how team fights are supposed to work for this squads on the side of Ablaze, because I think the only actual engage they have is Sion's ultimate. Or I guess if Emrys just walks into the route from Zyra.
I just want to point out Ablaze support Giga Chat hovered Yumi at the end of the lock-in stage. Considering Flay did it before and then had to dodge. But yeah, what was the question?
There was not really actually a question. I'm just trying to break down the teams here, and then actually at the end of all this, because we are just going through the little bit of a delay before the spectator delay before we can get onto the rift. Now, what we've seen here is both teams drafting. I guess one team drafting very interestingly, one team doing something more standards. What is actually going to give you a preference into winning the next game?
I think
Here
if you
it is
just
on
look
that.
at this, I think standard is always the safer bet, right? Like, standard is something we've been seeing basically for almost 2-3 seasons now. Is this type of draft, right? It's front to back, get an
Standard League of
ADC.
Europe. That's what I said.
Yeah, yeah, standard league of yeah. Maybe rename SLE to SMD, to standard meta drafts, because that's what that's what. But yeah, right now what we have is, you know, Kaisa, and once you have Kaisa, what you want to do is just get some engaging, get some CC, and enable the plasma procs. So you know that we have one check mark. We have a lot of CC on the team. We have a lot of engage, right? So Kaisa can always follow up. And then we have the backup, right? We have backup damage, so we have both AD and AP. So regardless what build Kaisa goes, we're gonna have the other option in our back pocket. So that's another check mark there for Kaisa. So I think if we look at it as a Kaisa draft, it's already very well executed. So you can always pivot into a full-on team fight, or with a long-range artillery mage like Wei, you can just pivot to a poke type of comp. And like you mentioned before, Ablaze not really having so many tools to get on top of you, and not really having a proper front line, I think they would struggle into this poke comp that Emrys could opt into. But then on the other hand, we have Ablaze that are completely out of the park with their draft. So I think they probably got inspired from somewhere. Not entirely sure where, because I've never seen anything like this before. But we have a Zyra that, if I remember correctly, goes jungle, a Sion that goes mid lane into the Hui, and a Gwen that goes top into the Jax as a counter pick. And then obviously a Poppy Vayne bot. Now Poppy support is a champion that has been really strong recently. Recent patches, and now with the Dead Man's buff, she is even stronger. Picked as a counter into Leona and Kaisa as well, because keep in mind she stops Killer Instinct. So really strong pickup there, and Poppy's sole job this game is to peel off Vayne. And if somehow magically this Vayne gets enabled, Ablaze can win. But outside of that, I think they will really struggle this game into the draft of Emrys.
Yeah, absolutely agree. And I think it's especially difficult against Wei, who can put quite a lot of stuff on the ground that makes it very hard for Vayne to cat around. And there is a lot of things to dodge. And if you use your knockback on either Neona or Sejuani, that means it's free flashing for Jack's counter-strike. So very, very rough for Vayne to maneuver here. It's a very brave draft. They've definitely done some cooking, as we have seen writing in chat as well. That's he's been on kitchen duty. And let's see if it's gonna come out actually like a good taste, or if it's actually just disgusting and we should never go back to this restaurant again. I do think that we're gonna head on over into the game soon. Is there I'm actually just at a loss for things to talk about until the draft starts, not gonna lie. So what do you want to talk about when you look at this game of draft, or do you just want to talk about the meta anyway? How's it going for Nebula?
Yeah, I mean, as you saw in the standings, the very real standings before, we are currently 0-8. Don't know how that happened, but yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Like
But
that's
I've heard stuff. I think we're in game. No more yapping about random stuff. Now we can yap about.
Oh, thank God.
All right.
Nice.
Let's place a bet. What soul do you think it's gonna be? Mountains coming up first.
So it's not mountains. Wait, is that correct? Actually, can we get a quick look over? Because that is not
Yeah,
always
yeah.
correct. Dragon. Thing.
All right.
It is the first Drake is mountain. Yeah. Cloud Soul.
Cloud Soul. Oof.
30 seconds until the ring
Uh,
spawn.
You know what? I'm gonna say we had Hextech once. I'm gonna say Chemtech. You know, we go New Souls.
You know that just because it happened before, the chances don't change for the second time happening again.
No, no, it does. It does. That's just basic statistics.
By the way, if producer could put the jungle in the right spots with the way, then that would be lovely. Thank you very much, Pepper. As yeah, I don't know. I see the question in chat if Torment is Bry. I know that he was called Yon, at least last match he played. So I don't know if he name changed again. But if it is, it could be him. Otherwise, it is a different player. But we have now gone into the Rift. 1 minute and 30. Again, a stock standard start. Nobody trying anything. Even though I feel like there is potential here. They had the Yona Sejuani, definitely invade worthy. I don't think Bobby would want to start that fast presence. So we're just gonna go quietly into the lanes and we're gonna start farming.
Yep. This time round, we had no vision being, you know, played for on at the start of the game. So no information really. Oh, no, that's a tech. All of them seems like he knows what he's doing with that Zyra jungle.
I have never seen that. That is broken.
I mean, I don't think I've ever looked for it either, but yeah, that looks pretty nice. So
True.
you know, it
I don't really
looks like
care.
I mean, I swear probably every jungler that is watching right now and played Zyra before is like, oh yeah, I mean that's just a standard thing to do, and they're cringing at our complete lack of awareness of what our junglers do when they play Zyra. But you know, outside of that, really ahead of is clear, already starting up Wolves as Torment is only crossing the mid lane now. Both pathing towards bot though here, so no attention to that top side where Lost got the counter pick.
Yeah, and he's also falling down in CS quite significantly early on, so counterpick not exactly getting big value just yet. Flay is looking for a ward into the jungle to know exactly where all of them is and what he's doing. And wait,
That plant, the plant
Oh.
saved. The plant saved the blue buff.
what do you mean saved?
Well, because the W hit the plant instead of the blue, the Zyra plant.
Oh wait, right, the Void Seeker from yeah.
Yeah, from Lekro.
I wasn't looking at that, the part in particular.
Oh, well, you looking? That was the only
I
thing
blinked,
on my
I
screen.
blinked, my bad. But
Oh, you
all of
blinked,
that
okay,
is,
yeah.
he has finished this clear first, and it looks, he was around for covering for a gank, which he's gonna go get his scuttle now, and Sejuani's come around and probably knows that the scuttle's already gone.
Yeah, and all of them on a ward right now as it stands. They do know that he is on this bot side, as he might be looking for a lane gank, but he will just opt to reset. And now I think what's gonna happen is just like a chain of events. They don't have info on where Sejuani is, and Loss is walking here towards the scuttle on top side, getting some vision down. But if Torment was there, if they didn't have info on him, and if he was there, I think Loss would have been putting himself in a really dangerous position just walking into the river like that.
Yeah, definitely a fair point, but I guess it's still a Gwen though. She could like sort of outplay it with the skip and slash as well. And Torment, I think he must know exactly where the ward's placed because he paths around this quite beautifully. And there he will flash in and he will get some passive stacks on Lost Murderator to try and line up for the stun. But he's just a little bit too far out and he's going to outplay it by jumping the wall. And that means that Olafam is in time here to answer this gank, and Frey is very low. He still has his flash, but it will just use the leap strike actually to get out. So no harm, no foul there, but that is a flash from Torment used just to get the flash on Los Murdereto, but he will also get the push, which means that this should sort of benefit Ablaze, especially when we're canceling a recall as well on Frey.
Yeah, and Lost Murdereto showing why he's my #1 top lane this split. But yeah, we also had all of them coming off a reset as well, getting that item that I think is an item. I think it's called Fated Ashes.
Yes.
Yes, oh, I'm pretty good at AP items. You know, I'm learning them because that's just what ADC meta is nowadays. But, but all of them already on his second clear here. And on the other hand, Torment didn't really reset yet, so he is clearing, or he is resetting right now, cleared his top side as well, and opting for a reset. But you know, Zyra pathing bot here. Ghosty and Chief Blobfish kind of have some prio in lane, surprisingly. And I wouldn't be surprised if we do have a dragon fight here in the next 30 or 40 seconds.
I guess it looks like the wave is kind of building for the side of Emrys, so they could use that to leverage a push, but that means that they will become gankable, and Sejuani is not quite around just yet, quite slow on the clear. Flay seems to have been pushed into the wall, punished for attempting an engage on the Poppy, and all of them is actually positioning quietly into the third push here to prepare for a lane gank if Flay walks actually casually.
Jump scare Zyra.
Okay, like I was trying to build up the tension here. Like he's gonna make a smart outplay. It's like boo. And
Oh,
just
he might be getting
fuck you
caught
over,
out here.
but then
Both
nah,
Hwei and
he's-
Sejuani. Hwei and
okay,
Sejuani. both
Sejuani
moving
is
down.
now making. Oh, he's backed up by Wei. He was now spotted as well, but yeah, he just completes the recall, which means he's out. They do have the wards, so they see Flay in position. They're going to remove that advantage, and with Zyra effectively out of that quadrant, I think they should be able to just safely start this dragon, and it's gonna go to the side of Emrys without being contested.
Yeah, and this time around in game 2, a much more controlled and slower game, not as explosive as last time around. We saw fights. Basically, since minute 5 onward, it was just fights on top of fights, right? But now I think both sides deciding to play it a bit slower. Because I think both teams kind of want to scale up, right? You have Vayne and Gwen that both scale, and
Yeah.
on the other hand, you have Hwei and Kaisa that I think both are pretty happy once they get a few items in.
All of them showstop to just chunk out Vray, and he easily sidesteps the loot, so nothing happening there. Bot lane's actually taking a very good fight here, and chunking Blobfish quite roughly. Now that is a playable situation here, because I do think that there is always this outplay for Leon to just flash and stun somebody. She doesn't have to use his Zenith Blade, because that is peelable for Poppy, and with that low health bar, could kill a Poppy. But yeah, topside's not exactly in control for Emrys, which means they're gonna get some drops.
Yeah, and Ablaze, again, if you remember game 1, they were picking up these grabs early on and losing dragons to Emrys, and I think they're just opting into grabs again this game. They didn't really want to contest the dragon. And I think most importantly, right, Zyra is a champion that has a pretty fast clear, and you know the whole point of picking Zyra is clearing really fast and getting on the map earlier. But what we've seen so far is all of them on that Zyra getting really good clears in, but then not really converting them into much. No really plays made on the map. Meanwhile, on the other hand, we have Torment matching Zyra in CS almost, actually a bit ahead. Oh,
Oh, all of them
Talking
is
about
making a
making plays.
return to the top lane, and V-Ray does realize he's absolutely no way getting out, and he's not even gonna burn his flash, but he will go down. That's first blood for all of them.
yeah, sorry about saying he's not making plays, my bad.
He took that personal.
Yeah, he just knew. He just knew. But yeah, nice
Are
pick
they
off.
listening?
Yeah, are they listening? Does the stream not have delay? We should have that checked. Maybe there's a new bug this split. But yeah, Vray dying there on top
There's some
side.
cheaters
But,
in the SLE, I've heard.
yeah, not really losing his wave or his summoner spells either. And you know, something we haven't really touched on this game yet in these lovely 10 minutes is the mid lane matchup of Sion into Hwei. Just Sion being poked out a bit and backed out. But you know, if we look at the runes, we have an Arcane Comet Sion that is now ulting back to midway, and that is not, you know, he is their only frontline, and Arcane Comet is not something that's gonna make him really tanky. I
What
understand
would you
why.
have? What would you have him pick as an alternative? Because he's not getting any grasp stacks either.
First strike.
Actually,
can-
yeah, okay, I can see that. I can see that. That's fair. That's fair.
First strike, I can
Like-
just go buy items.
Because I think that the aftershock has no value really. Because like when you ult in, people are not really hitting you after that anyways. So
Yeah.
like, he can't
Because
pro
they're
grasp
stunned.
against waves. So yeah, first strike. Actually, I like the idea for first strike for sure. But
I mean,
yeah.
it's just this is mostly just for lane, right? Like, you can't really do much. I guess the other option that's like realistic would probably be phase rush. I know phase rush was mostly used for lethality Scion, But I think there is value in this game as well, especially when you're playing into Hue and Sejuani, who both have some slows in their kit. So it would be good to reposition a fight, especially when his primary goal is just to peel on Bane.
Absolutely. That is a flash forward from Blobfish because the TP is coming in from Los Moreto, and they're going to punish this overextending bot lane here, and Flay is not even going to use his flash. He's going to get killed here by Los Moreto, who's putting his ultimate in as well. Needlework picking himself up a kill, but that leaves top lane with a lone push that is not going to be answered anytime soon, so that's at least getting something for Vray. Was this worth it?
Yeah, all of them's up there to catch the wave as well. I don't think they're necessarily sad for their jungler catching, considering it's a Zyra champion that does really good with the gold. But yeah, so we have, you know, Zyra and Los Moreto, sorry, all of them and Los Moreto, both pretty big already. Los Moreto almost on an item. We already have Leandris picked up on Zyra, so the top side for Ablaze again has a lead this compared to previous game where the lead was on bot side.
Torment has found cheap Blobfish in the jungle, will casually chunk 40% of his HP with a passive proc and walk back into the jungle, taking control of that blue side quadrant because the dragon is spawning in 13 seconds. They have to push in bot lane, so they really want to get the dragon stacking going. We saw them pick up a relatively early soul last game as well, so they're trying to play for that again, and that is a mid lane play actually from Torment, as we've locked down Repent, and he doesn't seem that tanky just yet, as he'll quickly go down in the duo from mid jungle, picking up their first kill of the game for Emrys.
Yeah, and Dragon's up again, and this is what Emrys was looking at last game. And this time round, you know, Emrys got a pick on mid, but they are moving towards the grubs. And seems like Dragon is not something they're looking to contest right now, Jägerbomb being very low on mid lane, but they do have so much bot prio, especially with that static shift completed on Kai'Sa.
They do have prio, but with Sejuani moving topside, they have to put the respect that Zara could punish an overextended bot side, and they've lost their vision on the bot side of the river, so they're positioning quite far back, and yeah, Zara is very comfortable taking the solo, so they are going to trade the jungle objectives.
And most importantly, it's not gonna be Chemtech Soul,
Yeah,
so it might actually be Cloud.
so you've already lost.
Yeah,
And I haven't
I've
lost yet, so I've won the bet, right?
You're 2k away. No, but you're 2k away.
No,
from losing.
I've not lost yet.
What is it? What is it?
Oh! Okay, and now I haven't won either, but like I was winning longer than you were.
Bro,
So I have won
if
by proxy.
if we both go to the casino and I lose my money 2 hours before you, and you lose 2 hours
Well,
after
then I would have
me,
stopped betting, and then I would have had more
no,
money than
no,
you,
that's
so I
not
would have
true.
won.
No, because we would have both left the casino with 0 money. So we're both losers, except some of us just lost faster. We're
So
more
that
time
makes you a
efficient.
bigger loser, which means you're
No, it makes me time efficient.
okay, you're losing more time efficient than me. I'll take that. You know, I'm fine
Yeah.
with that analysis. That is a okay. Other than that, not a lot of action in this game, to be
Oh,
honest. Which I am a
Play
bit surprised by.
looking for his Zenith Blaze on bot.
Yeah,
missing
Zenith
twice so far.
Blade's not happening today so far. Now top lane's fighting, and this time around it's Emrys ganking Los Moreto, and he will go down, meaning a kill happens positively for Vray, meaning that at least kills are equalized, but he's still down in CS to the counterpick window.
This is a trend this series. It's the gold, Ablaze getting these small early leads, and then Emrys having to fight back, and this is what's been happening this game. Ablaze getting a pretty strong early game, and Emrys having to make plays to kind of claw back a tiny bit of that gold deficit into their favor.
Jägerbomb
how
actually
much-
getting slowed up, but he's gonna fear Repent, so I feel like this matchup is kind of rough for Repent to do anything into. I think he's done a great job at farming at least, or maybe Jägerbomb has just missed too many CS, I don't know. But so far, it doesn't look very fun to play the Scion here, but at least he's kept up in CS, only dying once. I think that's pretty, I don't know, commendable, because I don't think the Scion was his first choice of playing this game.
Yeah, and I want to just point out that he is taking so much damage
with an item completed, and now he completed the boots on top of it. So even with an item, he was just still losing lane into this Hui that has an item as well, but it's not really a magic pen item or anything.
I have a
So
production request. Can we click on Wei and see how much gold he's farmed with that first strike? Because I just noticed that he's actually making a benefit off of this fact that he can just freely farm. Yeah, already an extra 300 gold, a free kill technically on Wei, just because he gets the lane against a low-range tank, and that's going to be the unstoppable onslaught, I believe, from Sion going top lane to just block an escape path that was never going to be used by Vire as he's getting solo killed by Los Murderetos. So this Gwen counterpick for the start top laner from Ablaze is paying off.
yeah, you know.
Oh wait, bot lane we've lost the 2v2 as well, and Ghosty's still not done with the final hour. He's going to try to put the final moments in Blaze life as well, as he's going to have to flash away, just barely saving his life.
Yeah, and you know, that's what Poppy kind of does. It negates the Leona going in. It negates Leona getting on top of your carry just by one press of a button. And we didn't really see what happened on bot side there, but
Yeah. You're making some assumptions there. I guess it could be correct, but I have no idea because somehow
No,
Kai'Sa died and not Leona, so I don't know.
yeah, but you know, because Kai'Sa then follows up, right? Oh, Kai'Sa didn't know. Okay, never mind. Let's go back to top lane here. Lost for the Red are really working with that counter pick super well. Already getting a lead. So we have almost a 20 CS gold lead. We have a 1 kill lead as well on top side. And again, you know, it comes back to picking that Sion and then opting to send it mid, even if it's not the most favorable matchup for it. So Repent being a selfless mid laner here.
I mean,
Because as you said, I doubt he was the one that wanted
Yeah.
Sion as his first option, right?
Yeah, I don't think anybody, even top laners, don't have Sion at the top of the list of I want to play this right now.
Hey,
So...
bro, remember Case Maze? Case Maze had
Oh,
it.
right. Wait, where did he go? Man, good old days. So, yeah, there was one player who would have. Yeah, you're right. I'm wrong in that sense, but you're still losing faster than I was. Mind you, in the bet. But other than that, yeah, no, I think he's still doing a good job keeping up, and I think that's his only job right now. So if he's taking the pressure, I think it's completely fine. Sion's completely fine getting
Orman might be getting caught out here.
Torment jumps away in time before the steadfast presence is on top of him, and now Flay is going to peel any sort of harass that Repent wants to do on Jägerbomb, and he's gonna have to take a little bit of a chunk there, but it does look like he's starting to get relatively tanky. Remember, he has that passive on his shield that the more minions he kills, the more max health he gets, and the burn on that Blackfire Torch from Wei is only flat damage and not percentage health yet, which I think he's building next.
Yeah. Yeah, I keep mixing up Dormant and Repent like when in champ select when they were going.
Oh, but there's a big fight happening in the bot lane. That is going to be positively popping off with killing the jungler of Ablaze immediately. Killer Instinct into his second kill for Lekro there, but now he's getting run down by Ghosty with the final hour, and the Sion still feels very powerful as well. Now Lekro has fallen. He's gonna get a double kill on the Jaeger bomb as well, as the Sion is actually putting in a lot of work, buying so much time, and the Vayne seems to be popping off right now. And that means that they're getting prio over this dragon, but they need to keep out Torment. He does not have a Warmogs, I believe, so he's not going to heal up. And they're going to pull out this Oceans. Oh, he actually does have the Warmogs, but does he have enough bonus health to get the passive proccing? So it's not activating, actually. So if he goes in there, he's going to die pretty quickly. He does have vision with this bush actually helping him, knowing when he has to go in. And he's going to take the gamble. He's going to get in there. 900 HP. He's going to get the smite. He's going to get pushed out, but he's still going to go die after he flashing over the wall. That last auto following him. Triple stack from the Vayne passive will be in the kill. But at least they got the dragon.
Yeah, I think maybe Ghosty could have positioned himself a bit better there, but if we're going back in this fight, Ghosty chasing down Lekro on the side, not really having too much setup for the Kai'Sa, kind of out of position as well, and Repent just doing work on the backline of Emrys there, getting Jägerbomb low enough for Ghosty to just get the last hit on top of it.
Yeah, didn't really quite see that fight, that side of the team fight where Repent actually just got Jägerbomb so low and just zoned them from Vayne, and if they can manage to pull the team fights off this way, it looks like this Vayne might be a turbo good pick. 4-0 up against his counterpart, 3 kills more, 0 deaths so far, and worth 450 gold, so his life is very valuable, even more so now. So yeah, Emrys looks like they're getting pushed back actually quite significantly this time around, because even last game, even when they were behind, it was not more than 2k, and now they're down 3.5, so looking like Ablaze could potentially tie up this the series.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's still a bit too early, right? They don't have that Dragon Soul win condition yet, as they are actually.
Oh, that's the needle work
one-
committed from Los Mordreto. I think he's going for this kill. The Q won't quite get enough damage, but it will still get the flash from Vrey. And that is still a significant advantage now. Jägerbomb is around here to try and help out, but I think with Los Mordreto, he has the Hallowed Mist available. I don't know if Jägerbomb could actually impact this fight in time before him killing it, but he will put respect on and he's gonna back up.
Yeah, in the meantime, Ghosty all on his lonesome on bot, about to hit that tower. No one close enough to even contest him yet. But we do see Jägerbomb and
It
Torment
takes him
both
ages to
moving
kill the wave, man. It's
Yeah,
still a
I
Vayne.
forgot about that. I forgot about that.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
so-
he finally killed the wave, and now they've arrived. Now Torment
And now
is
he's gonna die
walking.
because it.
He has the Glacial
Ooh.
Prison. It's not gonna be connecting, but it does connect the slow, and it will force out the flash from Ghosty. I'm not sure it was worth flashing that ability. It would have dealt some damage, but there was no immediate CC anywhere anytime. So Flay holds on to a Solar Flare.
Maybe he thought it was the Solar Flare.
Yeah, actually, yeah, it looks kind of similar. Still,
Yeah.
it wasn't.
But yeah, you know, again, we're not seeing lethal tempo on either of these AD carries. If we
Yeah.
just want to point that out as well.
Yeah, I don't think either of them really need it, as we've already talked about. Now Vrey is looking for something that's impossible to do against a Sign who can just casually train on out of there. Choo-choo. MFers. So he's just chilling. He's doing really well. He's almost at, he's close. Both ADC and mid are close to 10 CS per minute as well. I think it's a pretty good job there. And that's actually spiraling the spare thrown out by Jägerbomb and just tumbled away from.
Zoning, I think. Man, Tumble is such a goated ability name. Oh, Solar Flare missed. You could say
Yep.
Sign almost tumbled his way out of it, but
he, did. He ghosted though. He ghosted. So they got something, I guess. I'm seeing. Apparently, there's a lethal tempo enthusiast in the chat. Should you want to interact with that, by the way, just setting you up.
yeah, yeah,
So I mean, I don't think Vayne wants lethal tempo, but I would in this game would recommend it for the Kai'Sa, to be honest, as we talked about before. But yeah, with the current game state, I'm not sure that's actually what's going wrong for Emrys. But they're just like failing to get really anything going so far. So yeah, it's
Yeah,
it could have been
I
more
wanna-
eventful.
like I want to point out Kai'Sa opting for Blade of the Ruined King to deal with the front line of Sion here, and
Oh, Torment's gonna go in and he's gonna get the cleanse from Ghosty immediately. And that Stranglethorns is getting 2 knockups, and now we've got Cheap Blobfish absolutely wanting that kill on Flay, but the TP is gonna come down. Flay doesn't even die in time. That's a double stun for Frey coming in with the TP, the counter-strike coming up clutch. But there is the choo-choo train, and we're gonna jump out, which means he's gonna get double knockup. Thank you very much. That's 2 kills now instead of 1. We could have sacrificed ourselves, but we're gonna give more, which means that double kill coming in is meaning that they have full prio on this jungle. They will even go in, and there's not even a jungler inside. The Torment, if he goes in there, is definitely gonna die for this.
yeah, and this will be basically Baron for the side of Ablaze from one good team fight. And I mean, was it really a good team fight, or was Ray just a 6th member for Ablaze, really enabling that Repent to get a nice, nice, unstoppable onslaught, right?
Yeah, really.
Yeah, and I mean, we're
That's a
trading.
really sad one to watch. Break it down for me.
So first of all, we see a Zyra ult coming out on top, and a nice flash and pushback onto Flay today from Chief Blobfish here. And you know, Flay thinks he's out of the fight. They get Chief Blobfish, so this is all of a sudden good fights for Emrys. But then Sion, unstoppable onslaught in Ray, selling out his teammate and himself, really giving the kills just for free to the side of Ablaze here. And, you know, the only thing they can do after this is trade the dragon for Baron. But it does put Ablaze now into a situation where their opposing team is on soul point while they're the team that's basically in the driver's seat right now.
Yeah, I do think it's still very much worth. You have 5 minutes to take over control in a significant way that they shouldn't be allowed to get to the next dragon. And Baron at 25 minutes into the game, I think, should get you so much gold to put you so comfortably that honestly, I'm not even sure that the Ocean Soul is that big of a deal, because I think that if they are getting their hands on one of the targets to fight them, oh, actually flash away from all of them from that Sunday. If they do get their hands on a target, I don't even know if the healing would be relevant, but that's actually Torment going hard into the fight, trying to get something here. But with the Poppy ultimate committed as well, the follow-up is not even there anymore unless you would want to commit a skill or instinct, but we've seen that used before to no avail, and they are trying their hands to trying to get their claws into Ablaze, but Ablaze doesn't allow it.
Yeah, and Lost Moderator all the while this is happening on mid, pushing up on top side, getting that tier 2 tower, and you know, really utilizing this Baron. Playing the
Trying again, but he's gonna get punished, pulled into the wall, knocked down by Rependi. Now he's going unstoppable onslaught into this. This time around, Flay did manage to sidestep it and is gonna actually get out so far, but there's enough damage put down here that Lekra has to back off as well. And meanwhile, look at top lane. Lost Murderetto, the star top laner of Ablaze, is wailing away on this tower, actually taking a lot of tower damage now, and he will actually go down as a result. Now we've got Frey trying to hold down the Forters in the mid lane, but the tower has fallen. Baron Burf still very strong here. Ghosty just kind of freely hitting them. If they just let these cannon minions do their work, this inhibitor will fall, and it will now. Now Frey's trying to get back in there, but it's going to get stopped by Repent, and they just can't get past the sign. And even if they get past the sign, there's still the Poppy around. Flay's trying again, trying to get his hands on something there, but now he's going to get locked down, and now Poppy's now also turning into an aggression here, and that creates some space for Ghosty, but he's finally found himself in a bit of a tough position now. He's gonna have to flash out, still held on to the cooldowns, and so far he's showing a great control of this champion, and it's looking like this Vayne pick is coming up aces.
Yeah, this Vayne pick really doing a lot of work, especially melting through the front line of Emrys and buying the space that he needs just from the range of Hui, you know, really not getting close enough, because no words actually. Maybe Vayne just is good.
The biggest weakness of this champion was the laning phase, and she just kind of got through there uncontested. We saw the Sejuani come down there, but then like really decide against trying anything and just ran top lane for jungle objectives instead. And so far, it's not really paying off. Now the Vayne is on a very fed position, 3 items, now getting in resistances as well. I think that item might build into like a Phantom Dance or something, getting even more movement speed, making it so that she can cut on beautifully. It's going to be so hard to lock her down, and with the peel that she's gotten from the Scion, from the ultimate, and the plants from the Zyra, from the Poppy steadfast presence, how will they ever get to her at this point in the game?
Yeah, I think the side of Ablaze just really has to make sure that Emrys does not get this Dragon Soul, secure the next Baron, and I think the game is basically theirs. They don't really have a side lane that can match Lost Murderetto here unless they really group a lot of people for him, and they can't really get on top of Vayne consistently, especially not with Vayne having cleansed up, and he had cleanse. I think he used it once or twice across this 30-minute long game.
Torment walking into the Fog of War, trying to get in there. He does have the Warmux, but with the burn as well, it makes it a little bit delayed on when he gets his health back, but he should be fine. Now we see Lost Murderetto kind of testing the water there, how much he can do in a 1v2 situation. He is on 3 items as well. That one charged up Q could absolutely eviscerate any target right now. That's Chief Blobfish finding an engage on Frey, but he has the leap strike to get out of that. That route from Zyra will not connect, meaning he will keep hold of his life, his health bar. Now Flay today will get a stun on they found a very important target, all of them. That's going to be an eliminated jungler right off the bat. Now Chief Blobfish is going solo as well, but now Lost Murderetto is in the thick of things, and that help is doing so much work. Jägerbomb can't even interact with him now that they've lost the top lane already at the start of it. But eventually that Hallowed Mist goes down, and so does Los Murderetto. And they found 2 kills, but the health bars are low. Dormant's Warmux is coming back up. They can look to re-engage when he's getting healthy again. They're trying to chunk down Repent while they're slowly chasing it. And that Fear connected on the Ghost, which means he has to cleanse, he has to walk away. But that's a beautiful killer instinct. He will execute the Vayne in the backline. Legro will get a second kill, actually going down to Jägerbomb. And now the sign, you are so tanky, but you have no backup, you have no team, and eventually you will die. And Emrys have managed to hold down the fort. The dragon is theirs for the taking as well, which means they get the soul, they get the team fight win, and they still hold on to the hopes of getting a 2-0 this week.
Yeah, and Torment already on the dragon there, but if we look at his team fight, all of them are Flayed today actually having a really nice flank and getting on top of all of them, getting that CC chain, and really, the Zyra can't really do too much, and now Chief Blobfish trying to peel, being caught out of position, and everyone trying to help their jungler out, forced into this choke point, and that's where the team of Emrys really shines, especially with the pick of Huawei, with so much CC and not CC, sorry, AoE damage. And then they just played the fight out slowly, and again a nice pick off onto the Vayne there at the end of the fight, getting the shutdown onto the Kai'Sa.
So got the cleanse, which means this Glacial Prison is absolutely coming for this Vayne again. Same thing for the Solar Flare. If one of these things hits, the other will surely follow as well, and that chain CC can be absolutely devastating. So they need to make sure that they prevent, at least, especially the Glacial Prison. It can just be blocked by a tank. They can absolutely block that. Now, they have started the Baron. It's going super low. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to be in time to contest it. They have the Ocean Soul, but it will not flip, checking into the Fog of War. Los Murderetto has found himself a blue buff. He wants to contest, and Frey doesn't really want it to happen, so they're going to get Los Murderetto incredibly low. Kai'Sa does have the killer instinct available. She's gonna go in, she gets exhausted, she can't get the kill. She has committed everything. She lost her summoners now as well. Now that is a sign, cutting the team fight in two, buying time for his team, but Frey found a Poppy, but he's trading his life for a support. That's not really worth it. The team is not able to cut through this Scion. They have the Ocean Soul. Their team is still low enough though, because it's not quite landing enough damage to cut through this Scion, and all of them is doing work with these plans at the same time. But the Ocean Soul is getting their health bars back up, but it's too little too late, as Ghosty's already fled the scene. The recalls come through from Los Murderetto, and they've got themselves the Baron.
Yeah, they got themselves the Baron, but I think Los Murderetto again being caught out of position. And Chief Blobfish paying the price. I don't know if we're going to be going into a replay here, but if we do, I want to point out how much damage Jägerbomb is doing in these fights. Sure, not on Scion, but the rest of Ablaze is melting to this Huawei, and I think he is really holding up the whole of Emrys here in these team fights.
Yeah, if they can fight it a little bit more slowly, it means that everybody gets the benefits from this Ocean Soul, and Jägerbomb does make it more annoying for Ghosty to actually hit the front line. If he uses that flat laid out red carpet, right, it makes it so hard, especially in those choke points, for Ghosty to get his damage on the targets where they need it to be. And if he doesn't get to consistently hit, he gets interrupted, he gets zoned, they will heal from this Ocean Soul. There is no anti-heal, actually, surprisingly. Am I seeing that? Yeah, there's absolutely no anti-heal so far picked up here when this Ocean Soul has been secured. It's looking like it's going to come through from Scion, but if we're not auto-attacking Scion, it's not going to be applied. So it has to be picked up, I believe, by this Zyra or the Vayne. I don't think you want it on the Vayne, so it should be probably going on Zyra. She can spread it better, but so far not there. Torment, in a bit of a dangerous situation. But so far, this game feels like it can go either way.
Yeah, I do want to point out though that Emrys, sure, they're winning these team fights slowly, and you know, not really. I wouldn't really say it's 100% win for them. This game is still just up for grabs from both teams, but the thing is, they still have so many towers to take before they crack the base open, and into a Baron buff can't even do that.
Very scary there when Necro was staring the face down of 4 people. Now that is Chief Blobfish putting Torment into the wall, not allowing an engage. No ultimates just used from Emrys. They are holding on to some of those tools, and there is the Strangle Thorns from all of them is gone. That is a big zoning tool used by the side of Ablaze. They are holding down plenty of people to spot out the front line from Emrys Hyenas. who cannot get their hands on the carries. Now TP from Lost Murder is coming in to deter any type of team fight to make sure that they can get this mid lane inhibitor. That is quite a lot of time, a lot of time for the Baron invested. The Baron now gone for a mid lane inhibitor, which I don't think is that important, but that's actually just a stopped engage. Stopped in its tracks. Flay will die for this, and that's a re-engage from Repent to try and lock down the one remaining frontline member in Torment, and he's trying to get out. I think he will get out, and with the Ocean Soul, he should be fine. Now, Lekro's trading auto attacks, he's going blow for blow with Ghosty, not quite coming out on top just yet, and the Super Minions aren't quite here yet, but the kill on Flay came through, but I don't think it's gonna matter too much, because they're losing health bars, they don't have the wave, and by the time they can start sieging, Flay will be back.
Yeah, and I think Flay again looking for something that really wasn't there on mid lane. I think you just need to let, yeah, Flay engages in, gets stopped by cheap blobfish. Again, nice route from all of them there, and you know, gets picked up. Repent ulting in with Sion, and you know that's it for the team fight. That's over. But then luckily you have Hwei on your team that can just clear the wave and do a lot of AOE damage to everyone. We saw him chunk out the backline of Ablaze after that fight was over. Which I think kept them in the game again. But you know, we do have the Elder coming up this time round.
Is your
In the
script
next
gonna come through? There's no Jinx this time around, but
yeah, no Jinx Rocket to steal it.
maybe the Void Seeker, you know, it is.
Ooh, yeah. Let's pretend that's the Jinx Rocket.
It is Elder in 30 seconds. They have lost mid inhibitor, so they have to maintain that control over that minion wave. Lost Murderetto is going into 3 people, losing a lot of health bar, but he does get the Zonias, but it won't matter because that TP will secure his death. And that is the mid lane inhibitor has to still be dealt with. Those super minions are kind of running in there. They are going to send over Jaeger Bomb, but they have a man advantage that they can match 4v4 while somebody deals with the wave. Elder Dragon in 5 seconds. Flay is fishing once again for something. That is a Glacial Prison connecting onto all of them, but he will not be followed up by Frey. He's going to get stopped in his tracks. Flay is going to flash into the backline, getting some CC on Ghosty. It could be followed up on, but it's not committed to by Lekro just yet. Frey is on a mission, on his own, stalling for as much as he can. Lekro has killed off the Poppy, and now will dash into the backline with the killer instinct. Will get Ghost, he gets the double kill. Will get a triple kill on the sign. They will complete the ace. That is still an Elder Dragon secured, but I don't even think they can end off the game off of this, even though at 37 minutes, they get the team fight win. Do they have any TPs? This game is not over.
No, look at the minions in their base. They need to clear them out, but most importantly, this was a 5-for-0 ace. So every single member gets an Elder Dragon here, but if we look back at the fight, nice stop on the engage from Chief Blobfish, but then again, Flay today flashing into Ghosty, really getting an angle there, and Vray just chasing him down. The way Vayne ult works is you really need to get a kill to reset and extend the duration, and at some point it just runs out here. No, you can't really go into stealth, and as their backline melted, Repent trying to peel for Zyra, trying to peel for Vayne, it just wasn't enough. So both of their main carries died out, losing Elder Dragon and now losing Baron.
The fact that like they did play that fight really well, and the fact that this still doesn't end is actually kind of tragic. Honestly, now they're going to end up with double Uber buffs. If this doesn't get you to win, I don't know what will. But they played it really well. They played really patiently, really abusing the Ocean Soul there, and yeah, especially the fact that you lose Lost Murderetto that early, just for a control ward, by the way, is just so silly. It's really ridiculous actually, because he is really important for these team fights. That Hallowed Mist allows him to at least get one massive chunk of his charged Q and his third charge of the needlework. I think it can one-shot almost anybody. It threatens the carry so much, or it could just almost one-shot a tank. He cannot drop the way he did last team fight, and now they have to go up against an Elder Dragon.
Again, this is a really tough position now for Ablaze to play out. Sure, Kai'Sa isn't going the poke build, but you still have a Hwei that does so much damage, especially in these long range. And when you're playing Champions League main, this mid lane is just getting melted through. They can't even step up for anything as Inhibitor gets taken down. But are they looking for a potential end here? They don't have a wave. So this is the time being wasted right now as the wave can be cleared.
With
And,
the Baron buff though, like they can just position there, and this time the onus of engage is put more on Ablaze, which they don't really want to. They want to peel, and now with 2 cannon minions, they have literally no one who can clear this. If Zyra walks too close, she might just get jumped, and that's actually Trey committing a lot of damage into the tower. Is going to get picked up immediately, and sadly the target that is going low is getting Poppy ulted out. Keeper's verdict is going to keep him alive. And now the cannon minion is just back for round 3 for the next tower. That's an engage on the jungler. He's gonna be eliminated at courtesy of the Elder Dragon, courtesy of Jaeger Bomb. They're gonna get the cannon minion as a reward. Congratulations, but you're down your jungler, you're down your magic damage. How do you hold back 5 people with Baron buff and Elder buff? And there it is. That's going to be the full-on committed engage that you cannot survive. They have scaled, they've gotten their health bars, and they're eviscerating you this time around. And Repent is gone. Your front line is gone. The Elder Dragon has timed out, but I don't think it's going to matter. Lost Murderto just quietly surviving. Oh my god, Lekro trading blow for blow, but the burn is there actually in the end to get the vein. Ablaze, you have cooked. You went into the kitchen. You did something beautiful. It looked fantastic until it went to fire. You let it burn too long, and that will burn up into your face, and it will turn into a 2-0 for Emrys, who stood tall above all this and turned this into an absolute banger.
Yeah, Emrys really showing the resilience after game 1, after coming back game 1 and finding themselves in a position very similar again, getting the resilience this time to claw back an even bigger deficit to Ablaze. Getting that Elder Dragon fight was so massive as well, getting both of the buffs and then just putting it into their base and saying, yeah, you guys are stuck here now with us, and just executing the fight so well.
Yeah,
So,
it took
it
them a
looked
long time to convert, to start being in the driver's seat. And once they got that Ocean Soul, it looks like that was kind of like the gas they needed to take the fight steady and slowly. And the one they got them everything. And a double Uber buff against the composition. If you have to engage into double Uber buff compositions, you're just gonna slowly die out. And they took that siege cleanly, and they're gonna close it out for a 2-0, but it was really the cooking almost got them that win though for Ablaze. So I will say, like draft wise, it was not as bad as I thought it would be.
Yeah, I mean, it looked on paper, I saw the draft and I was like, yeah, this is looking a bit weird, but at the end of the day, it looked fine. They had like a 6, 5, or 7k gold lead even at some point. But if we look at the damage here, just real quickly, Jaegerbomb doing so much work on that way, just out damaging everyone else in the game by at least 20k.
Almost
And
doubling the second person who would be close.
yeah, on his team, which was Lekro. So I mean, I think Jaegerbomb was the clear MVP for this game, at least for me personally, because he was the person that really stepped up and helped Emrys stay in the game when it felt like the rest of the team was kind of clocked out, or not clocked out, but they couldn't really do.
Their shift was over, bro.
The shift was over. That was it. They needed something to get back into the game, and Jaegerbomb was that bridge for them.
Yeah, absolutely great game 2 here from Jaegerbomb. With that being said, like, is that also our series MVP? I'm trying to think back of game 1. He was the Oriana, I believe. I do remember some missed shockwaves. Yeah, who would you say would be the series MVP here for Emrys Hyena? I'm trying to remember. I think it was mostly Jinx, I guess, in game 1. I'm not sure what else.
Yeah, I think game 1 was mostly Jinx and Cho'Gath, right? But
Right,
I
sure,
think,
yeah.
but I do think game 1 was much more of a team effort compared to now, where I think it was just really a lot of the work on the Hui, keeping them from not losing. And I think that alone, like he did, there was some missed shockwaves in game 1, but I think game 2 really solidified Jaegerbomb as my MVP for this series.
Yeah, I can attest to that. I think the way did the best of his job he could have done. I think I also really like the adaptation for the what's it called, Force Strike into the sign here. So definitely heads up here with the builds as well. So that really big congratulations for Emrys Hyena getting their much needed 2-0 victory here against the Blaze. That would put them over Ablaze in the standings by at least 1 win. So they should be feeling very well about this week. And great games here. It looked a bit rough here, but shout out to Flay for sticking it in there, because it looked like pretty rough at some point, just running his head into the poppy over and over. But they got the dub in the end. So Good,
I need
good
to
stuff
stop
for
you for
hanging
a
in there.
second as well.
Yeah, go, go, go.
1K gold from first strike.
Oh my god, yeah, that is
That is big. That is big.
yeah,
We
that's
found the new money printing glitch, guys.
yeah. Wait, this is the economy,
Play
right?
it
Like,
before it
this
gets
is how
nerfed.
we make money in this economy, right?
This
Right,
is
right.
the only way to make money.
Yeah, maybe the gold changes on Infinity X aren't that bad then anymore, so we have to just abuse first. Yeah,
First
okay,
strike, first
that's how
strike.
we do it. No, anyways, that I think is gonna do it for us for tonight. There's no other matches in the SLE tonight. Thank you for joining me on the cast, Senex. Was absolutely lovely. Thank you to the teams, Emrys and Ablaze, for the entertainment tonight. And Pepper for obviously hosting the production. It was lovely to have you all, and I hope you all have a great night, and we'll see you shortly with more games throughout the week.